What's good? Welcome back to Forever I Love Atlanta Sports Podcast. It's your boy The Don, here with my co-hosts King and Tyrone. What's good with y'all?
What's good, people? What's good? Happy Sunday to
Going
everybody.
on? What's going on, y'all? How everybody doing tonight? Good Sunday, great Sunday. Let's get into this Falcon talk. Let's get into this Falcon talk.
Hey, hey, we got joining us. We got two people that does the draft. We got Tyler and Joe. What's good with y'all? How y'all doing?
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Doing good, fellas. Glad to be joining y'all.
Hey man, we so happy that the draft is over. Man, it's been months. Like it felt like this lasted for like 3 years. I promise you. This draft talk, Falcons Twitter just being toxic for no reason. I'm so happy that this is over.
Yeah, I would agree.
Now they can be toxic for another reason.
Oh my goodness, man.
Oh, God.
It felt like it took so long because the anticipation, like leading all the way up to the draft, like we're just waiting to see what the Falcons are going to do, what's going to happen, and then all the rumors swirling around. But now we get to move post-draft rumors and everything, so that'll all be fun.
Yeah, you're right about that, man. But hey, oh, we glad it's over. But hey, if you're new to the channel, y'all know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this content out with Atlanta Sports Fanatics, and hit us up in the comment section. As always, come holler at your hometown podcast. All right. Let's go ahead and get into the draft. Let's talk about these picks that we got. And we'll cover everything else that happened in Atlanta. Because pretty much the main thing that happened this week was the draft, so we're going to go over that first.
Yeah.
All right. Yes. So, Falcons, this Thursday, this is what happened. They drafted Kyle Pitts, 4th overall from Florida, tight end. All right. In the second round, we was picking 35th, but we traded with Denver, and we got us a. Did we get an extra? I thought we got an extra 4th round pick.
114.
We swapped the compensatory 6 and got their 4.
Okay. All right. So second round, we got Richie Grant, and then in the third round, we got Jalen Mayfield. Fourth round, we got Darren Hall from San Diego State. Fifth round, we got QuonGraham, the defensive tackle from Texas. And the other fifth round pick, we got Eddie. I'm not gonna say his whole name. Ogunjoye, the defensive end for Notre Dame. And then to wrap up the last fifth round pick, we got Avery Williams, cornerback from Boise State. And in the sixth round, we got Frank Darby, the receiver from Arizona State. And after the draft was wrapped up, he picked up a ton of undrafted free agents. We got cornerback J.R. Pace from Northwestern, running back Davian Hawkins from Louisville, safety Marcus Murphy from Mississippi State, defensive end Eli Howard from Texas Tech, defensive end Anai Patu from Adams State, wide receiver Antonio Nunn for Buffalo, running back Caleb Huntley for Ball State, offensive guard Ryan Nuzell from Appalachian State. We got linebacker Enroll Thompson for Mississippi State. We got tight end John Rain for Northwestern. Quarterback Felipe Franks, former Gator. He was at Arkansas last year. Offensive tackle Jack Bato the fourth from South Dakota School of Mines. I never heard of that school before, but hey, I got to be real good to get signed by an NFL team. Wide receiver Austin Trammell from Rice. We got The Rock Jr., Dwayne Johnson Jr. from San Diego State. I had tweeted. I said I can literally smell this signing, and then Dwayne Johnson Jr. He had retweeted and liked it. We got offensive line. Yeah, I thought that was cool to do that, but we got offensive line Bryce Hargrove from Pittsburgh. Offensive line Joe Shotrup for North Carolina State. Shouts out to North Carolina State. Offensive tackle Keon Smith from Fayetteville State. Defensive tackle Zach Dwayne from BYU. And we got defensive end linebacker Kobe Jones from Mississippi State. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about. But before we get into these picks, where was you guys? Let's be honest, okay? What would you guys pick? What are y'all projected at for the fourth pick? I'll start with you, Joe.
Okay, so I actually did a couple of articles for Blog and Dirty, and I also alluded to it with Tyler and a couple of my friends that I had no idea where we were going. All I heard was, are we going to take Pitts? Are we going to take Matt Ryan's successor? Are we going to trade with Denver? Should we trade with Carolina? Should we trade with Detroit? Should we trade with Miami? Who knows what we're going to do? And I said it straight up to my friend who's a diehard Gator fan. I was like, take your bias out. How good is Pitts? And he's like, if you get Pitts and you keep Julio, you guys will get at least 10 wins next year.
Okay.
10 wins?
You can't double them both. You just can't.
You definitely can't double both Pitts, Julio, add in Ridley, sprinkle him in there. You can't triple.
And then you still got Hayden Hurst. Somebody's going to be wide open.
Exactly.
There's going to be a couple of seasons wide open.
I agree with that, but do you think this offense can carry us to 10 wins?
Passing wise, yes. Running wise, TBD.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we don't know about
that. I can go with that.
But even just look at Arthur Smith, the way he did. I know everybody. All right, something's going on by condition. Everybody keep talking about Derrick Henry. I get that. But
I think Don.
You can't deny what Arthur Smith did in Tennessee. Can y'all hear me now? It should be better now. I'm good now?
Yeah, it's just getting a little
it's a little lag.
All right. Yes. Red zone efficiency when he was in his zone. So, take that for what you will. Far as what we do as scoring.
So with the Don has a lag next show. Hopefully we can get that fixed. But yeah, like I was saying, do you think this offense can really carry us to 10 wins? Like, this offense is good with all those pieces, but also this offense has always been the best thing apart of this team, and we still need defense. I don't think this offense can carry us to 10 wins. Maybe 5 or 6, but not 10.
If I look at it from perspective of let's just look at last year at least. We had a bunch of games that we lost just within a score. Majority of it was because we couldn't put up points in the fourth, and then defense couldn't hold anybody in the fourth. So I think that with the new addition, that's why I'm kind of skeptical too to go with just 10 wins based off of us getting Pitts. I mean, it could happen. I mean, Atlanta could score 62 points a game and then hopefully not give up 63 this year around. But I think our defense could do better, at least this year under our new system with Dean Pease, because I like the systems that he runs. I think that we could be better off with the juggernaut of the offense that we do have, and then having that new defensive scheme come in where guys go flying around all over the place. Because Atlanta, I think we need to realize that we're not – we need to go ahead and start embracing the fact that we're a quick defense instead of a slow, big, bulky defense. We need to start embracing the ball hawking and the versatility and the flying all around the field. And I think that Dean Pease system is going to allow it.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically where I'm going at it as well. I mean, when he said I was very skeptical. Again, this was my friend who said, this isn't me who said. I mean, I personally am like with Tyler. It's like, if we can score 62 and hold our opponent to 61, I don't really think it'll matter all that much. I mean, the main thing that I love at least is adding Pitts into our offense at least allows us to do 12 personnel. And if I remember correctly, when Matt Ryan won the MVP, we were in 12 personnel a lot. I mean, he didn't throw touchdowns to 13 different people for no reason.
Yeah, I think for us, to really be good, like we said, you can't double everybody. So you have Hurst. Look what we did with Hurst last year. Even though it was Dirk Cutter system, look how open Hurst got on certain plays, and Hurst was wide open for a lot of. I mean, imagine when we do an Arthur Smith system. Imagine how that runs a lot better. And then you add Kyle Pitts, who literally is a big receiver he maybe come on the line. And really and truly, I think he comes on the line for certain plays in the playbook. I think he plays more out, maybe out, not all the way out, but he plays more. I wouldn't even say slot. I feel like he comes close to the line, but he's not down. I don't think he gets in a 3-point. I think he's more closer to the line, but he's still not all the way, out there where Julio would be or Calvin. But we still forget we still got Russell Gage on this team too. Like we still have, and we just drafted Frank Darby, who is another deep threat. He's fun. Frank Darby is a fun guy. He's just hype.
Yeah,
he's just hype. He wanted to be here, and
he feels like that Mohamed Sanu type guy on the side.
Yeah, he's gonna be that bean talk type guy. He's just gonna he's gonna be the one that cause chatter on the team. So that's the fun part. And then we just keep adding old linemen. Can we talk about we've added?
Oh yeah,
6 or 7, man.
Yeah, man. Let me. And this is the thing: when you have a head coach who specializes in the trenches, all right. We said this on record, all three of us, all right. We said this on record that we don't be surprised if the Falcons draft a couple of linemen in this draft. Now, the only disappointment I get out of this draft is we did not draft a true nose tackle, one tech guy. Okay. Hopefully they have a plan this offseason to put somebody up in free agency. I think we picked up somebody, one of these undrafted free agents. He is a big guy. He can play that one tech role if he make the team. But like I said, that's the only negative takeaway I got from this. The nose tackle and the running back. But I feel like they redeemed themselves with getting the guy Hawkins from Louisville. Because everybody, if you don't remember, the Falcons offensive line coach, he coached at Louisville last season. Coincidence? I don't think so.
Yeah, my negative would have been I had this draft at an A at the end of the draft, and I was like, yo, they didn't get a running back. What we gonna do? So Terry Fortnite did his thing, and he went out. He got a running back. So that's why I'm giving it an A+. So the only negative I got was not getting a running back. The running back I think they were going to got snagged up early, second day. Not Michael Carter. I think they would have got Michael Carter if he'd have been there. But since he wasn't there, they kind of was like, all right, let's go in a different direction, which is smart on his game plan. I'm pretty sure he would have got Michael Carter if he was there. I don't think anybody would have passed up Michael Carter as a running back who needs a running back, because I'm not sleeping on Mike Davis either. So the fact that he went and got a running back, that was my only negative from this draft. What about you guys?
Tyler?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of the same way. I mean, I was expecting us pretty much all the way through the draft. I was like, when are we going to take running back? When are we going to take running back? Because I thought running back was in play day 2. And then I thought then day 3, I was like, okay, maybe we can get one. We're going to snag one here somewhere in the late round. Like I thought like a Chuba Hubbard or something like that was going to come off the board and come our way. But I really do. I like the signing of Hawkins, because he's a guy that we didn't even have to use a draft pick on. We got to get him an undrafted free agency, and he's a good running back. If you go and watch his tape, I mean, he's a shifty guy. He's quick. I like the way that he runs, because I think we've got a few bruiser backs that we've got, like some big backs that can power through. And I think we did need another shifty, quick, smaller running back like a Ito Smith. So I think it was a good pickup for us to get him.
and the familiarity, man, with him working with the offensive line coach and Louis Mills. So the transition should be very easy for Hawkins if he makes the squad.
And then plus the fact, like with us having Arthur Smith, I think that's something. I mean, you know that he's a guy that's going to emphasize the run. He's gonna want to use the run to set up the pass. And then with us taking Kyle Pitts in the first, he now has his 2 tight end set, and he also likes that a lot too. So I think a lot of this was about finally bolstering up some of that offensive line, getting some good running backs that we can have, whether it be Davis or whether it be Hawkins. You got a quick and you got a power back too, and then you have your 2 tight end set. I think he can do a lot of damage with that offense.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, like for me, I mean, I also said it, like at least personally, I did want us to go with like maybe get a running back. I mean, personally, I've been on the Najee Harris bandwagon like the entire draft thing. Sorry to all of us, SEC guys and everything. I mean, Tyrone, he's wearing Georgia Bulldogs, all that. I know he probably wanted Azeez Ojulari or Eric Stokes coming to the ATL, but I've been on that Najee bandwagon forever. I know like people go off on you shouldn't draft a running back in the first round, but technically where Najee went and to an extent ETN right one slot after, they're as close to round 2 as they will be. So they're not technically like, it's not like Zeke a few years ago where he was the 4th overall pick, where that's like a first rounder. Like I don't know if one would want to say like the top 10 of the NFL draft is almost maybe like the NBA lottery in a sense. Like that's when you really want those names, and then like 10 through 20 is like a give or take, and then like 20 to 32. I mean, those
you pick which is you pick what fits your system. If you picking like I say 15 to 32, 15 32, you better choose somebody that fits your system. That's the need.
Yeah, so like that was my thing. I was definitely on the Najee bandwagon when he got picked. I mean, we all saw how quickly Pittsburgh put that card in. It was like Pittsburgh on the clock. 3 seconds later, the pick is in, and we're just like, "What? It was that fast?" I mean, I'm bummed that we couldn't get him. I do like this Javen Williams kid that we got as the undrafted free agent. The kid is fast. He is fast.
All right, let's talk about the. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm good.
Yeah, let's talk about Richie Grant. All right, 2nd round pick from UCF.
That's my dog. That's a dog, man.
Yeah, that's a dog.
I love. You can go ahead, Don.
I'm sorry. I wanted Trevor Mooring, but Grant, that right there, like Grant, I think Grant had more tackles than Mooring. And I feel like you pretty much replaced him. You replaced Keanu Neal with that pick.
Yeah,
that's
he's better at coverage.
How I felt, right?
Man,
I was like, that's the Keanu replacement. And then I saw where he had been working with Eric Harris and stuff too, so there was some familiarity there. And this is what I noticed this a lot with this draft. We found players who were 1, team captains, and 2, very versatile. We found ones that could play multiple different positions. Like he's a guy, Richie Grant's going to be a guy that you can either play deep or you can move him into the box. You can really do anything with him. So, I mean, that's going to be another really fun piece about this DMP system, is that he's not going to just have one piece here and one piece there and they're stuck. I mean, it's going to be like a game of chess. He's going to try to get that next move there before you can even think of it.
Yeah. I think Richie Grant, you want to go, Don?
Go ahead, man. You good?
I'm watching his press conference. I don't know if you guys watched his press conference. I watched every player we drafted press conference, almost every player.
Frank Darby.
All of them. Darby's is hilarious. All of them are hype. All of them want to be here, which I love to hear. Like all of them wanted to be here, but Richie, his story and like what he said he went through when he got hurt and didn't know what he was really going to do with football, and for him to come back and now he's a 2nd round pick it's inspirational. It's funny because him and Eric Harris almost have the same story, but he's such a when he got drafted, his first thing was they got a dog. They got he literally wants he is the Keanu replacement, literally. Like he is going to come in the box and he is going to hit somebody. And I like that. I mean, we need a safety like that. And that was cool. It was cool to see like this. He's gonna be crazy. I promise
Yeah.
he's going to be like probably he might be the best safety. This is a hot take. He's gonna be one of the best safeties in the league.
Well, you
coming
saw
in a couple of years.
Oh
That's a
yeah,
real hot
I'm
take.
gonna be honest. Hold on. I'm gonna be honest with you on that. With Hulk as our DB coach, hey, I can kind of agree with you on that. See, Luca, what do you mean by we should have addressed the running back position earlier in the draft? Like, so you telling me we was gonna pick Najee at 4? No.
I'm gonna give my spill on Richie Grant. I'm gonna do a King's Realm on it, so I'm just gonna give you a little snippet. Richie Grant is one of those players that I was talking about yesterday. They're smart. Like, I'd rather have that player over the super athletic player. He's smart. He knows how to make the plays, and he's going to watch the game. That's why he can play in the box. He played wide receiver in high school. So that's why he's good in man coverage. He understands the routes. So he's one of those players that you can put, like everybody's saying, all over the place, and it's going to work out. So he was my favorite pick of the draft. As soon as we got him, I was like, oh, snap, we got Richie Grant. So I was hyped. So to go from Kyle Pitts to Richie Grant, he was getting the A+ from me regardless, as long as he got a running back.
Yeah, and like the Don said, I mean, I was also in the Maury boat for a little bit, but I have followed Richie Grant because his college is only about 3 hours away from me in Oviedo, and I'm in Brooksville, about like an hour north. I'm in enemy territory, guys. I'm in the Tampa area, so I'm about 3 hours away from UCF, and maybe about 90 minutes. I'm about 90 minutes from West Coast, about an hour north of Tampa. But I've talked to some people who are UCF fans, and they raved about Richie Grant's playmaking ability, how he can tackle. I mean, I watched some of the film. He is fast. He plays electric. And I'll just throw it out there. Of all of our draft picks, he's the only one that's a national champion.
Come on, man.
Come on. I really had to think about that.
I like it. I'm using it. I'm using it.
Man.
National champion safety, Richie Grant. I think we stayed BCS. They probably would have been national champions. If it was still a BCS type of thing, they were going by record. They probably would have been national. They were a good team. I'm not gonna lie, but they won't play Georgia, so I don't really care about them. They won't play.
Well, that was my thing. Like, I mean, they beat Auburn, who beat Alabama. So, I mean, I'm not saying that they would have beat Alabama. I'm not saying they would have beat Clemson, but when they beat a team that's widely recognized as a really good school in Auburn, they should have at least maybe done that 18 playoff just to experiment with it, just to see. Like, even if UCF gets blown out, like Oklahoma did by LSU a few years ago with the Joe Burrow offense, which everybody still goes off on AJ about that he got benched because he got burned by Jamar Chase. Tell me a cornerback that wasn't burned by Jamar Chase and LSU that year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, oh, these fans. All right, but I like the Richie Grant pick. They addressed the need there. I know some people also wanted Javonte. It was funny because we traded with Denver with that pick, and Denver chose Javonte Williams out of North Carolina, and that's one of the running backs that I did want us to pick, if possible. But since we already went offense in the first round, it was a no-brainer to go defense in this round. Third round pick, we picked up Jalen Mayfield. Go blue. Go blue. Man, I was so happy when we picked him, man. I was at the restaurant on Friday night with my girl, and I was still watching the draft. You know, they got it televised everywhere and stuff. And like when I seen Jalen Mayfield, Michigan on the board, man, I lost my stuff, man. She was looking at me crazy, like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, we finally got a Michigan man on the team. I ain't seen a Michigan man on this team since Jay Philly back in the day, kicking field goals for the team. But anyway, this is a great pick because this was another need. we needed someone to play guard. All right. Not only that, he can also play tackle. All right. So, knock on wood, if Matthews go out with an injury or McCary go out with an injury, he can fill that space. But they had a report and they said that he can play any position on the line. That is awesome. That is great. All right. What's y'all thoughts on that?
I mean, I love the pick. I mean, it said that he grew up an Atlanta fan, so at least we got somebody. First off, at least we got somebody who likes the team, wanted to play for this team, getting drafted by this team. I mean, as you said, Don, you're Wolverines guy, so it really must be tough now that we have to deal with the AFC East's problem, even though he was your quarterback a long, 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 long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
But that's neither here nor there. We're not talking about TB12 in this one. This is an Atlanta podcast.
But the thing about Michigan and a lot of people they associate Tom Brady. All right, Michigan has had a prestigious history of linemen, offensive linemen, Steve Hutchinson, guys like that. Taylor Lewan in Tennessee. Who developed Taylor Lewan? Yeah, Taylor Lewan with Michigan,
and he's good.
Yes, and Arthur Smith developed Taylor Lewan.
That's why, I literally trust the picks of our last regime, offensive lineman picks. I was like, oh Lord, here we go. I was like, Matt Ryan, they're about to get blown up, and they're coming right for him. But this right here, Arthur Smith knows what he's looking for in an offensive line. He knows, once again, another guy who's got some versatility on him. From what I've seen, he's a good run blocker. And then learning in that pro style system is going to help him a lot moving forward. So I think it's another great pick. I was looking on Twitter and everybody was posting that meme, Terry Fontenot goat earns another W. And then I'm telling you, this staff, for once, previous years I've kind of been this draft was all right. This draft was okay. Or, my God, this draft was awful. But, this year is the first one, again, where I'm we actually had a solid draft. We finally did something good. We were the only team from NFL.com to get that A+ rating for our draft. So,
and Mayfield, he was also a Falcons fan. A lot of people didn't know that either.
That's the cool part about him, that he grew up an Atlanta fan. It's when you think of players growing up, you're just especially I grew up in Atlanta, so you want to be a Falcons fan. You want to be a Falcons player, especially when you're playing your whole dream and goal. If you're a fan of a team, it's to play for that team. So for him to really actually get to play for the team he's gonna play extra hard now. He got to play here.
Vic Beasley was a Falcons fan.
Let's not talk about Vic.
We're not talking about Vic. We don't talk about Vic.
No one asked. We
don't talk about 44.
AJ Terrell is he a Falcons fan. He grew up in Atlanta. Hold on, let me get
again.
This dude wanted Luca. What's good, man? He said Felipe French low key pretty solid, especially for undrafted. I'm like, bruh. He's not going to see the field.
I'm not going to be mad at Felipe.
I'm not going to be mad at that. I mean,
I'm not mad at it either, but still,
he's got.
And plus, his size. 6'6", 245. That's prototypical for a quarterback size. So it's that. Am I saying that I want him to be our next quarterback? Hell no, not right now. But if he wants to be if he wants to be third string, maybe even hypothetically speaking, backup because AJ McCarron gets hurt, I won't got no problem with it.
That pick for me seems like a developmental pick. It seems like a camp arm to have, and then it seems like we just need to fill a quarterback spot.
He did play with Kyle.
Quarterback. He'll be a practice squad type quarterback.
He just pretty much took a Kurt Benkert spot. That's all.
Yeah.
You know what this means to me? This means that the Falcons everybody in the brass are all in on Matt Ryan. That's all this means.
Yeah.
Which is what I'm on too.
All in on Matt Ryan. So
I'm all
if you're a Matt Ryan hater, then they're showing you that you don't know football and join the club because.
So what do y'all think about Jimmy? Okay, you go.
before we move forward, can somebody tell me why people hate Matt Ryan?
I've
never
known. I've never understood that.
No. Let me tell you, because he's not number 7. He's not Vic. He's not Vic, and he can't run.
Every single stat that he has is better than Vic, other than rushing.
I said that, and I put that point out there.
Let me tell you, hold on. Let me tell y'all something. This man, Matt Ryan, is literally like 4 rushing touchdowns away from matching Vic's rushing touchdowns as a Falcon.
Did you see him on the speed clock last year? Man,
exactly.
He had like 20 last year.
Yeah, I mean, like I said it for Blogging Dirty. I mean, I don't know if you guys read the articles, but I wrote an article for them about Matt Ryan's being our quarterback for the next 3 years, and I'm not just talking about like the financial implications, which it took me 8 months to get my cowboy loving father to understand why we can't get rid of Matt Ryan financially. But I wrote in there 2 things. First off, find me a year outside of 2013 where you can definitively say that Matt Ryan was the problem in Atlanta that year. And even then, you really can't, because you could chalk it up to injuries, because we didn't have top 10 defenses except for 1 year, the year after we blew that lead.
Technically, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We finished top 10 in total defense. We were 8th the year after we lost the Super Bowl, where I think we were in the bottom 6 in the league and still made it to the Super Bowl. And the second thing that I said in that article was, what would you do? Would you rather work with a quarterback that right now is the second best in our division, because we can all agree Brady's number 1, Matt Ryan's number 2. It would have been Breeze if Breeze was still there, but he's no longer there. So it's Brady and Ryan. Would you rather go with a quarterback that's proven to win, or run the risk of a rookie that might not even pan out in the draft? And somebody actually responded, sorry, Atlanta fans, one reporter you didn't run out of town. Can't run a guy out of town if he's not in Atlanta.
You know what's funny?
Hold on. Sorry. Here's the thing. All right. 2015 was Matt Ryan's worst statistical year under Kyle Shanahan. Because Kyle Shanahan, the worst year was 2015, but Matt Ryan's best year was 2016, which is 20. And you had the same coordinator. But 2017, our defense was ranked below average. We was ranked 19th that year, according to DVOA Football Outsiders. But and that's the problem. I don't understand why some fans just
You want your cake? What? You want your cake? Yeah, in a little bit.
I'll take some cake too.
I'll send it to y'all. That was the mama.
Yes,
is that an Akita?
No, that's a Siberian.
That's a Siberian Husky right there. I love those dogs.
Greatest dog in the world, right there.
Oh yeah. Go ahead, Tyrone.
So I've had a conversation with a lot of Atlanta. I'm gonna call them Atlanta fans. I will say people that follow the team. So everybody remembers Lamar didn't go till like pick 30 or something the year he got drafted, right? So Lamar got drafted at pick 30. We remember when he picked like 18. Last year we got Calvin, I think. So I had
26 was that number.
26. Okay. So I had somebody tell me we messed up by drafting Calvin Ridley and not drafting Lamar Jackson, because we should have got him instead and gotten rid of Matt instead of picking up a wide receiver. That is what I've been told.
Really? That's retarded. So retarded.
And it's fans of other teams that have told me this. I've had the Saints fans be like, "Well, y'all passed on Lamar." There were 25 other teams that passed on Lamar because they wanted Lamar to play another position, and he didn't want to play it. Thank God he got his position at Baltimore, and he's doing good. But imagine if Lamar would have gotten this league and done horrible.
Let's be real about Lamar.
Yeah, let's be real. Go ahead, King.
Let's be real about Lamar. He got an MVP because he was kind of just wowing the NFL. When we talk about like quarterback play, is he really a good quarterback?
He's not really a
he threw a pick 6 in the doggone divisional game last year.
every time he gets into the playoffs, we have the same problems with Lamar. He can't throw the outside. He can't throw the outside ball. So if you make him throw the outside ball, you're probably going to win the game. So it's kind of at that point with Lamar Jackson that is he a good quarterback? Maybe. He's athletic, so that's going to help you win a lot of football games. But when it comes to playoff football, will he win a championship for you? I don't see him winning a championship with his style of football play as a quarterback.
I'd put him top 20, honestly, right now. Like maybe like 16, 17, maybe even 15 at probably the best, because it's like we have so many that are just really good out there. And I mean, what Tyrone just said, like I've had people go at me with Matt Ryan. I mean, I said this to Tyler, and you guys are not going to like what I'm about to tell you. Remember how I just said my dad is a Cowboys fan? It took me forever to get him to understand why we can't financially get rid of Matt Ryan. Mm-hmm. He said that we need to get rid of the quote-unquote white Jameis Winston in Matt Ryan. And I'm like, and right there, I nearly lost it. Like, I mean, I know he's a Cowboys fan, and I know they're delusional as all freaking hell. I mean, we see Stephen A. Smith go at them on a regular basis, and we see Skip Bayless try to think, oh, we're going to the Super Bowl this year because we got Micah Parsons.
Delusional? What are you talking about? They got Dan Quinn as their defensive coordinator.
I was about to say that.
Fast and physical, right? Come on, man. He just got all his fast and physical players.
Hold on. When have they ever had a good quarter? Like the last time they had a good quarterback was in the 90s.
And you know what's sad to me? I've been raving the Micah Parsons train all season, and he went to the Cowboys with Dan Quinn. So if he doesn't do good, I'm blaming Dan Quinn.
The only thing
Parsons gonna be another big piece.
No.
He gonna play out of position. I'm telling you, he gonna put him at defensive end. He gonna have him, lined up with his hands in the dirt, going up against 300+ pound linemen.
And he's supposed to be a linebacker. That's great.
I'm telling you what's gonna happen. I'm telling you what's gonna happen.
I heard some people comparing Micah Parsons though to a more athletic Devin White. So
yeah,
I don't know
how linebacker.
Yeah, so
not a defensive end.
Like going back to Matt Ryan though, I asked fans, and they say we need to get rid of Matt. We should have drafted somebody to take over Matt's spot. Tell me who is going to come in at least here. Some people wanted year one this quarterback, and us go ahead and get rid of Matt Ryan. Go ahead and trade him and just get rid of him, and then take this incoming rookie, plop him in, and say let's start. But tell me who that right now at this moment we could take to be better than Matt Ryan for the Atlanta Falcons.
Let me answer, please. All right, so I'm about to just throw everything that I have right now. So this is not going off topic, but I told everybody that everybody's pretty much most of these Falcons fans that say they Falcons fans that they became Falcons fans because of Vic. All right. Now Vic has been posting things on his page, his Facebook page. He did a top 7 or a top 10 famous or greatest Russian quarterbacks of all time. You know who he had as number 1? Himself.
Lamar Jackson.
He had himself. How you gonna host a top 10 and put yourself number 1? I really don't get it. That right there, that's and going back to, guess what? These past few months there has been an agenda, a narrative that was pushed by certain content creators, all right, about drafting the quarterback. Every day I wake up in the morning. Every day, look. These are 3 things that happen that I wake up every morning. The past couple of months. Listen, every morning I wake up alive. That's 1. That's a guarantee.
Well, you can't wake up.
Listen. I wake up alive. All right. The second thing, my woman, she give me my coffee. And then the third thing is I'm always going to see something about Justin Fields or Trey Lance. It felt so good Friday morning not to see anything about Trey Lance or Justin Fields on Falcons Twitter. Oh my goodness, man! I got down on my knees, and I don't look. I got down on my knees. I'm like, yes, thank you. Like this has been a long time coming.
And listen, that's what I wish.
That's something about point one,
guys. Though I hope that Justin Fields lights it up in the NFL. I'm a Georgia fan. I wanted him to stay at UGA, and then I like how he plays. I hope he does good, but at the same time, the answer for Atlanta right now is not a new quarterback. Matt Ryan is the guy who's consistent. I mean, you got at least 65% for a completion rating. You're talking at least 4,500 yards. You're talking about at least a certain amount of touchdowns a year. I mean, people always get upset. Oh, it's not Julio, but I mean, touchdowns are touchdowns.
And Julio's never been a touchdown guy either.
I don't know why people are so mad that Matt doesn't give Julio the ball. That's more slander I see on Matt Ryan. It's like, well, he can't give Julio the ball. Julio's in double coverage every time he's on the field. What do y'all not get by that? He's not going to throw.
Coming up,
and here's the thing, though. When you're in the red zone, the field gets shorter. Mm-hmm. So it's easier. I played DB before. It's so easy to play in the red zone because the field is shorter. I ain't got to worry about chasing out the receiver. My coverage, look, you run to me, you right here in my face. Guess what? I'm going to make sure you ain't catching nothing. So, but that's the thing. People don't understand. Like, the field gets shorter. You have to, when you in the red zone, you have to scheme. You have to do a good job as an offensive coordinator in scheming touchdowns.
Yeah.
Especially if you're trying to pass it.
And I mean, Don, to go back on your 3 points that you had about, to answer to rebuttal point one, a certain head coach of a certain team said, I can't guarantee that all of us will be alive on Sunday. So I think the five of us have proved that wrong.
I think, I think we're all alive. We're all alive and well.
I don't know who this Dave person is in our live, but if you got a problem with what we saying, guess what? You can turn this off and go watch something else, son. I look, ain't nobody sitting here ain't nobody sitting here forcing you to listen to us. So
you got a gun in his head,
hold on. Whoever burner, no, stop. I'm getting serious. Whoever burner account this is, you better get off real quick. Just saying.
He got a gun to his head.
Watch my live.
Watch my live.
Ain't nobody sitting here telling you to watch our stuff. It's other content creators you can watch. Like, trust me. Like, I'm not being mean. But don't come over here cussing and saying tell us what we need to talk about. Now, if you want to ask a question, you are free to ask a question that you want to be that we can answer. But don't sit here and try to force us what we want to say on our script on our show.
Yeah, and I mean, also with what Tyrone had said about like Julio not like everybody saying, "Oh, man, should force the ball to Julio," all that stuff. Do we not remember a few years ago there was a Thursday night game against New Orleans where nice 45 had a nice vertical interception to help us win that game. There was an interception right at the end of the first half. Matt Ryan threw it into double coverage, targeting Julio, and Julio not only tackled. I think it was Lattimore who picked that off. I think it was
probably Lattimore. It probably was Lattimore.
But not only did Julio make the tackle, he walks off the field and he is like, "I told you, don't throw it to me," because he knew it was a bad play.
Speaking of Julio, what do y'all think about the rumor of Julio leaving?
He's not being traded.
He ain't going nowhere, man.
He's not going nowhere.
That's another thing that makes no sense to me. That move does not help us and does not help Arthur Smith with his offense. Arthur Smith wants an offense that is scary, man. I mean, yeah, we drafted Kyle Pitts, but we can have Kyle Pitts and Julio and Calvin and Russell Gage and Hayden Hurst and Mike Davis and Javian Hawkins and Ollison. I mean, we've got guys that we can getting rid of Julio is like shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah. Would we all agree that they're all in on this offense and they're just going to say, "Hey, let's get behind Matt Ryan and see what we can do"?
I've been on that boat.
That's the head.
Listen, for years.
It's the head coach. Like this is Arthur Smith's team. It's the philosophy, and the philosophy is we're going to pretty much be physical, and we're going to throw everything at you, and we dare you to stop us. far as offensive goes. Defense, we know Dean Pease. He has a true definition of. We said that Dan Quinn had a bend but don't break defense. That's a lie. It broke every single time.
Every time.
He tried to reach a boom everywhere. It's too old of a defense to run now. You can't run that defense in this NFL anymore.
Cover 3, like, come on now, like, so many people don't figure that stuff out.
Those zones got burned every single game. Every single game. It was like the same zone every single game. And you're just like, well, there goes Oliver getting burned. Well, there's another one right over the middle, wide open again.
And I mean, sometimes
do you guys remember you can go ahead.
I was going to say, and like sometimes it wasn't even so much a matter of like the coverage being burned. Because I mean, sometimes, we could be like on that coverage and they would still get the catch anyway. It was the tackling. Like Tyler alluded to it. We would go off on Isaiah Oliver more so not about his lack of coverage, because he's okay at covering. I do like him as our slot corner. I do like him in the slot. He's a lot better in the slot. But his tackling was horrendous. He is the reason we lost to Chicago. I mean, yes, Matt Ryan threw an interception at the end of the game, but who gave up that last touchdown? It was Isaiah Oliver missing the tackle and Allen Robinson. And not just him. I think also was it Darquez also on that? Or was it KZ? Or something? There were like 3 people he broke a tackle of on that touchdown.
If you guys remember
that we got who we in here, like DPs and Hoke and those guys, they're gonna. I think you're gonna see a different Isaiah Oliver this season.
So do you
if you remember the Seattle game, you can go. You can go, Tyler.
Do y'all think that the Falcons are in a win now?
Definitely.
This year definitely. If let's say in 2, when is Matt's contract up? 2 or 3 years?
If it don't
2 years,
if it don't
let's
work
say
out, you
2
can blow it up.
years. Let's say 2 years. We don't give him an extension next year. I think that's when we might start the rebuild. If we don't give Matt an extension by next year, I wouldn't even say it's gonna happen this year. I say next year. If we don't talk to Julio about restructuring his contract, I think it's going to be more of a rebuild because we'll have to take quarterback, y'all. Sometime down the line, we're going
to. Real quick, I don't think it'll ever be a
quarterback. I just don't know when. I just don't know when.
Yeah, I don't think it'll ever be a rebuild. Just for the simple fact of we got Calvin, we got Kyle Pitts for another. We got Calvin for at least another year. We got Kyle Pitts for at least another 3 years, 4 years. And all we really need is a quarterback. The offensive line, you see, you got so many pieces that they're trying to implement and put in there that are we ever going to be in a rebuild? It just depends on how these pieces work out, honestly. If these pieces will never be in a rebuild.
And also theoretically, when it comes to what Tyrone just said about potential extensions, do we not remember what our very nice black and gold friends down in the French Quarter did? They signed Hill to, I think it was a 4-year extension, but all those years are voidable. So theoretically, we could do that with an extension, and that saves the cap hit.
Yeah.
And then we sign our draft class. And people are like, oh, but how's Atlanta going to sign their draft class? I literally just solved the problem right there with all these void years. Now, again, I don't know how the void years work. All I know is that apparently it takes money from future years, puts it out now, and it lowers the cap hit. That's all I know about it.
I just saw a comment pop up, and I don't remember who put it, but it was we have to see what Matt can do with these weapons. And not saying that this comment was saying that, but I saw on Twitter, people were like, Matt Ryan literally has no excuses this year. And then here's my thing. When has Matt Ryan ever had any excuses?
Facts.
It's been the defense.
It's been the defense.
Every time.
Matt Ryan wasn't the one out there diving on an onside kick. Matt Ryan wasn't the one blowing coverages. It's the defense. Matt Ryan.
We've been saying this. We've been saying this for years now, man. We've been saying this on this podcast for a long time about it, and fans still don't understand. Like, matter of fact, on Thursday, someone came to me. He said he was talking to regulars on Twitter, and I told him, "Look, if you want to come on the show, I'm still alive. Come on the show." And he was upset that we didn't get Fields. So my man, Fields is a dog, man. We just need somebody. Matt Ryan, he can't escape pressure. Talking about some Matt Ryan that he can't when the pocket collapses, he just want to stay there and get sacked. We need somebody who can escape. You cannot escape pressure, okay? Like the defensive coordinator stay up all night to figure out how to stop a rushing quarterback. We've seen this happen so many times. There's two other quarterbacks that have been sacked more than Matt Ryan and Deshaun Watson and Russell Wilson. Yep. And those guys are running quarterbacks.
Yeah, and I mean,
look at the Super Bowl though with Patrick Mahomes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. 497.
He got lit up too. I mean, it's that front line has got it's needed work for a long time now. That our offensive line has needed help for a while. Matt Ryan, we've seen him on the ground far too much, and it's not because he lacks the speed and the run and the mobility. It's because the man has to get rid of the ball in either 1.5 seconds or he's sacked.
And then we had an offense these past couple of years. Yeah, then we had an offense these past couple of years that Dirk Cutter, he like these long development plays down the field. Like that, you don't have your offensive line is not built like that to be holding like that.
No, it's not. And I mean, Antonio just said it in a comment. Matt, can we please put some respect on Matt Ryan's durability? He's only missed 3 games in his entire career.
Exactly.
3.
And let's add something else too. Name another quarterback who threw 4,000 yards a season for 10 seasons straight.
Drew Brees. I believe Drew Brees did it.
It was it 10 years consecutive?
I think he did.
Matt Ryan's the only one.
Matt Ryan's the only person.
I believe that one's I think it's an active because if I remember correctly, Drew Brees did do it for. Here, I'll pull up Drew Brees real quick, and I'll pull up his just quick Wikipedia look. Right here, stats for Drew Brees.
All right, hold on. I got something to say. Go ahead.
So Drew Brees, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017. If you would have thrown 8 more yards in 2018, he would have had at least 4,000 passing yards for 15 years of those.
Yeah, so Brees 15 years. 12 consecutive seasons.
Okay. All right. But that's so Drew Brees
so guaranteed Hall of Famer and Matt Ryan. Gotcha.
Yeah, facts.
And Matt Ryan's been playing less years than Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Drew Brees got drafted in 2001. Matt Ryan got drafted in 2008. Okay. And Q was good, man. He said that he's just not clutching anymore either. Just because you give up points doesn't mean you stop scoring points. Okay, but y'all
that doesn't equate.
But listen, y'all still giving the defense a pass. Why are we allowing teams to keep scoring on us? We've seen teams literally score 17 points in a game, and then their defense didn't allow a touchdown. They win the game, doggone 14-6.
But Don, with that comparison, we don't need a defense to shut teams out. We just need a defense to make a stop when they need to make a stop. That's it. That's all we need from a defense to make those 4th down stops or to make those 3rd and long stops or to stop a team in the red zone one time in the game. We don't need a team we just need to be average. That's it. Average.
Yeah, at least average. I get that. But you're right about that. That's what I've been saying. And Dean Pease can give you an average defense. But when you go up against a team that has a top 5 defense, and normally you're going to run into a team like that in the playoffs, all right? You have to play grind out football, meaning that your defense can't give up nothing. Your defense can't give up nothing, and then the other team they're not going to allow you to just sit there and score 30 points. Sometimes you may just end up kicking field goals, and hey, that's fine. I remember a playoff game back in 2016. It was the Steelers versus the Chiefs in that divisional round. The Steelers won that game 15-0, and every point they scored was field goals.
Was
ahead,
it
Tyler.
was it 15?
But to,
Was it?
to be fair, to
That
go
was
back on
2016
your point,
season. That was the same season that we went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but I don't remember it being 15 to
Was it 15?
18 to 15 was the.
It was
Was
18.
the final.
That was the 2016.
Yeah, because
playoffs.
the Steelers won kicking 6 field goals, but I knew the Chiefs scored in that game.
The thing is, Tyler, you can go. Tyler, go real quick.
going back onto that point though, there's a point about obviously that people have getting a ton of passes to the defense saying that it's all Matt Ryan's fault, blah 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 blah. How the defense makes a lot of mistakes. Look in these past few years where the Falcons' play calling in the fourth quarter has been atrocious. We've had we go run on first down, and then we either or we go a long developing pass, we take a sack, and then I saw too many times last year on 2nd and 26, we run the ball.
Yeah,
like a gut up the middle, run the ball. What is it gonna do? And then Cutter calling that same run right up the middle. And with guys like Todd Gurley, you saw he was productive whenever he got bounced outside. He wasn't productive going in. But Ketter, I swear, man just had a Madden playbook and was like halfback gut. We're pressing A. All right, we're pressing B. All right, we're pressing. The offense was so bland in the fourth quarter. And that's what hurt us. It's not Ryan's fault for calling awful plays. I'm sure even his audibles were trash.
He didn't have he had some audibles, but
I know with Shanahan, he really didn't have many audibles.
Yeah,
He didn't have much time at all, and that was a complaint of multiple quarterbacks under Shanahan. Was once the play was called, that was it. You didn't have anything to go back to, and
everybody kept saying, all the fans kept saying, well, he could audible out of the play of Super Bowl. He couldn't do that. He didn't have any power to do that.
Yep.
Yeah, and the Bears game this year. Do we not remember we had a 12-second drive in the fourth quarter because it was incomplete pass, and it was and the plays weren't even developed. So in the last few years, there's really only maybe a handful of games, but the most recent one that I can I will not give Matt Ryan a pass for this game. I'm not giving him a pass for that Chargers game this year because we had just got an intercept. We just got an interception, and all we had to do was get in the field goal range because we had the best kicker in the league last year in Younghoe Koo. And thank God he's coming back this year. And all Matt Ryan had to do was get us in the field goal range, and he throws an interception, and we lose that game. That is the only game.
I'm gonna tell you something about that game. Also, what I was about to say about one game, but about that game right there. The play calling was predictable. And I'm going to say this too. This is what I'm going to say. Players cannot escape bad coaching. It doesn't matter how good you are. If your coaching staff sucks, you're going to be horrible. All right? Now, that game, the Chargers game, I don't know if y'all looked at the tape, but go back and look at the tape. The play calling was so predictable that Gus Bradley, who was the defensive coordinator for the Chargers, he told those DBs to jump those routes. They would send on those routes in the fourth quarter, and that's how they got those 2 interceptions in the fourth quarter. Now, as a Hall of Fame quarterback, as a future Hall of Fame quarterback like Matt Ryan, he could have made different reads or do a check down? Yeah, he should have. But when your play calling is predictable, that you got the opposing defensive coordinator having his guys to jump the routes. What can you do in that type of situation?
That's Dirk Cutter though. That's literally Dirk. That's literally look at Jameis. Want to go back to Jameis? Jameis is 30 and 30 year, right? Look how Jameis did. He threw 30 touchdowns and 33 interceptions. That you gotta think those 30 touchdowns were spectacular. If you go watch them, that's a great game. But then you go and look at his interception, you're like, they just ran the same play over again. It's the same. It's that repetitiveness that when we got Dirk Cutter, I was like, why? What was the reason to picking him up? He just got fired. It didn't work the first. Yeah, it didn't work the first time. So
I honestly think that was the main reason why. That was maybe the first of the final straws for the Dan Quinn, Thomas Dimitroff regime I really think that was like the first like straw or domino to fall was when we rehired Cutter and everything. And I mean, also after that Chargers game, everybody like I know personally, I was like, I don't know what Matt Ryan's going to do for the rest of the year. All he did was throw 9 touchdowns, no interceptions, averaged 300 yards a game. And do we not remember what he did to Tampa that first game? He was lighting up one of the quote-unquote up-and-coming secondaries in the NFL. He was just torching them, and that was without Julio. He did not have Julio, and him and Ridley were just torching the Bucs. And then, of course, Antonio Brown, undrafted free agent. Stop me if you've heard that before. Elite wide receiver talent scores game-winning touchdown on an undrafted free agent on a go route. Oh, wait, that happened 2 weeks ago in the year with the Jets and the Raiders because they called zero. They called cover zero on the final play of the game. Like they were trying to lose that game in a sense. And then the next week after, I'm thinking to myself, okay, we just blew another lead to, a division rival. And now we're going to Kansas City to play the Chiefs offense in their stadium. We're probably going to give up like 50 on our defense. And then I'm watching the game, and I'm like, defensive stop. I'm like, what in the hell is going on here? And then Foye with the pick in the end zone. And Terrell, unfortunately, dropping the interception. But that right there, when that happened, I was like, just watch the very next play because every time, I mean, Don, you said it, you're a defensive back. You play defensive back. When you give up an easy interception, how many times on the very next play did the offense burn you guys?
Yeah, they kick you every time. And it's more, like I said, football is more mental than physical. So if you make a mistake, if you don't come down with that pick, they're gonna come. They either gonna target you again, or they gonna find a way to convert. I've seen that happen plenty of times.
That's just like
Joe all the time, Don. Happens all the time.
Like with Joe talking about that Chargers game, Matt Ryan did not play good that game, and we can throw that out there. But at the same time, elite quarterbacks have bad games. It happens. And if that's Matt Ryan's one bad game, then people are calling him Matty Melt instead of Matty Ice. People are like, oh, get rid of him. He had a bad game. This time it wasn't on the defense. It was on Matt Ryan. So we should get rid of him instead of worrying about the defensive problems that we've had the past however many seasons now. And
you know what's crazy about that, Tyler?
What's that?
The crazy part about that is, out of all 16 games last year, he had one bad game that everybody can say that one was on him. So what about the other 15?
Exactly.
But here's the thing too. Tom Brady, even in the playoffs, Tom Brady has some bad games. Yep.
I mean, his defense, the NFC title
his defense, yes, his defense bails him out every single time. Every single time, Tom Brady's defense bailed this man out.
But yeah, it's all Brady.
Yep.
It's like when the team wins, it's always because of Brady. When it loses, it's always because of the defense.
Or the coaching, or they blame Bill Belichick or Bruce Arians or some stuff like that.
Although in the case of the NFC title game, we can all agree who runs cover one at the end of a half. Like right there, like the Packers did stupid things to lose that game, but calling cover one in that situation was atrocious. Not giving Rodgers a chance, fourth down. Even if they don't get the touchdown, you at least gave him the chance. Now, I was somewhat okay with the field goal choice because at the very least you got points. I mean, also that was a thing with us. Like people were like, "Oh, we're kicking field goals all the time." We're at least getting points. Some points are better than no points. Like that was something that I was 20% okay with because at least the drive wasn't for naught. Like it wasn't ended in a punt. It wasn't ending in a missed field goal. It wasn't ending in a turnover. At least we got points put on the board that helped us get a chance to win the game, or inevitably our defense blows it. But in that Packers game, the NFC title game, they were letting both sides. Defense was getting away with holds, PIs, all the like. And you wait until the last third down to call a flag. the last third down, like right there, I was like, you just ruined a great game. And I mean, Tyler's wearing a Braves shirt right now. I know later you guys are going to talk Braves stuff. I think you guys all have your takes on how bad MLB umpiring is right now.
Oh God! Don't even bring that up. Don't even bring that up. Yeah.
But yeah, let's go back to the draft picks. Darrell Hall, the cornerback for San Diego State. I love this pick right here. This dude looks like he has an eye for the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like this he could be our he played outside at San Diego State, but I feel like he can play that nickel back as well. Because I really feel like Fabian Morrow, he's our second DB on the depth chart.
Well, Darren Hall also played some safety too, didn't he?
Oh yeah, I saw some tape of him playing safety. Yep.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah. Versatility is all I see with this whole draft.
Yeah,
this is why I gave him A+. This
is what Terry went for. If you really look at it, like you said, Tyler, with the team, the team captains. But if you really look at it, all of these guys play multiple positions.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a guy on here that doesn't just play a set position, which what you like. Because, from the first four, they all play the same. And then we get to the later picks, they all play different positions, which is amazing. Because you don't look at what Dan Quinn and the Mintrow drafted. Just set position guys. There was no versatility in any. Maybe Keanu was probably the most versatile because he could come in the box and maybe play linebacker. But they're like McGarry and Lindstrom, they didn't even really switch out and move them around. They played this is the position they played in college. With the guys we got with Mayfield and the guys we picked up in the later rounds, these O-line we undrafted free agents we signed, these guys play every position they want to. So that's cool. That's going to be something. Camp is going to be fun.
Thomas Dimitroff and Dan Quinn were just short of fans coming up to Flowery Branch to tell them to move Isaiah Oliver to slot instead of keeping them on the outside because it took them way too long to make that move to switch him into the slot. And he played a lot better whenever he did get moved. But he's not that guy out there on the out coverage.
No, he's not.
No, he doesn't have that.
Yeah. Yeah, oh man, don't even get me started talking about Thomas. Anyway, let's talk about QuonGraham, the defensive tackle out of Texas. This is not my ideal defensive tackle that we needed, but I kind of feel that they trying to. I think they're going to try to experiment him on the outside if we run the 3-4.
Yeah, that's my boy. I was just going to say that's my boy. Him at Texas is God. What he did at Texas as probably their best pass rusher. Coming out of there for a while. You don't get a lot of D linemen. I don't know a lot of D linemen out of Texas. So for him, he was probably the best guy all year. Look what he did at Texas, and he plays the 3 technique. Was they asked him in press conference, "Would he want to play one of the 3?" He wants to play 3. But he's not because he's not a big guy. He's gonna play. They're gonna play him at the end. They're gonna try to work him at the end.
And especially that
3-4.
Especially
that 3-4. That's my only problem with this guy is that he's a small defensive tackle.
Yeah,
that's my only problem with.
Yeah, Kaminsky's bigger than him.
Yeah, Kaminsky's bigger than him. They said we have to get. I can't think of the guy. They said we have to give a chance this year at the 1 technique though. It started with a T.
You talking about the undrafted free agent?
No. The undrafted free agent. We got to give him a chance.
You talking about Tyler? You talking about Tyler? You talking about Tyler Davidson?
Not Davidson. It's another guy. I think he's It's one of the bigger guys we have on the team. I think Marlon's going to play. Marlon's Carr going to play 1 technique for us, y'all. I know he's small.
Going to do with Deidre Sinnett also.
That's who. Sinnett. That's who they were going to say.
Because he's just been
he's basically been MIA. He's basically been MIA every game.
But he showed promise. Is what I don't get. Is like in the preseason games and the few snaps he did play, he played good, and then they just
egos. It's agendas and egos up there at Flower Branch last year, man. The past few years, you got guys like Sanat, guys like Olsen being after. I'm like, why are you drafting these guys and you're not even trying to see what you got out of them? guys. Like it makes no
But
sense
honestly,
at
what did
all.
we have to lose last year other than try to
I,
play it?
under, I understand some games you can have a guy inactive, but the whole season.
Yeah.
Basically, it never made
Yeah.
sense.
Marlon
Yeah.
Davidson was hurt. He came in hurt last season.
Yeah, he was
so that's
hurt and he got COVID.
then he
So,
got COVID. So
yeah,
it was just
he was
back to
taken out.
back, just
He's gonna end up
problems
being
with
pretty-
him. But I think he has promise. I like from him in Auburn, he has problems.
Yeah.
If you're a Georgia fan, you know what Marlon Davidson can
Yeah.
do. So I have promise in him. So I just want him to get to a point where he's healthy. I'd rather him be healthy and play than we try to throw him in. As he should be good though. We had a long off season, seems like.
That's
So
like
he should be.
Georgia fans though, and realizing what Kyle Pitts is going to be.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't doubt guys just because they're from a different school. Like I'm like, if it's a good player, it's a good player, and I'm glad to have him on the Falcons. So
If we can get to QuonGraham at Chuck Smith's pass rush school, oh man, this boy would be good.
yeah, well he's 6'4", 294.
Who Taquan?
Yeah.
QuonGraham,
Yeah. He's gonna be a 3-4 strong end, or no, he might be a weekend. Either way, I think he plays more weekend off of just.
I want to play him strong. I want to put him. I want to put him as strong.
I'm not putting him as strong. Only person I put as strong is Marlon Davidson or Kaminsky.
They'll try to work around, like they'll try to figure out what they want to do with him as far as like in the off season, like as far as the drill plans and as far as like what they got him doing in the weight room, what type of drills they have him.
He might get huge. Imagine him being at like 300, 320 by next year, because he's already 294. I can see him gaining some weight. He's gonna gain some muscle weight. He's gonna gain some weight in general. He's moving to Atlanta. He's gonna eat wings every day. He's gonna gain some weight. So let him get let him get at least 305. I think will be healthy weight for him. And you put him on that weak side and let him be able to have that speed he still has. Oh, that's scary. I'm probably gonna do a show on him because he's gonna be a scary guy for us, especially when he plays.
All right, let's talk about Ade or John G.
I got Ogundesi
from Notre Dame.
I'm excited about.
He was their best pass rusher.
I saw how he played at Notre Dame. I'm excited about this guy.
Mm-hmm.
We got some dogs. Those two picks in general, for them to be back to back, I mean, those got to be
back to back. Though once again, like we've been saying this whole entire time, both were team captains on their teams. Again, they got guys who are hungry, ready to play, and have it up here that are ready to play.
Yeah, I agree with
you. The mentality to play.
Yeah, I agree with you there, but my hot take is one of these picks, QuonGraham and AO, one of these picks are not going to make the team because they're ideally, in my eyes, they're pretty much the same pick twice.
Yeah, I think depth-wise, we'll have to see. I think they're going to I really think they're going to make Graham into a big D tackle. I'm not a big D tackle, but they're going to bulk him up, especially with whoever he has as the coach, and whoever's the D tackle coach and just the D line coach in general, and our health and nutrition staff, and they're going to get him bigger because they want him to play D tackle, and we don't really have. If we go to a 4-3, who was our 3? Who's going to play that 3 role in our 4-3 system? I mean, you got Grady's probably going to play a 1. If you put Grady at 3, I mean, you can put Grady at 3 or 1. So adding Taquan, I mean, that's going to be a great. I feel like that's just a great.
Wouldn't Grady play better at the 3 though?
Yeah, Grady.
Yeah.
Grady, I want to have Grady at 1, man. Like,
he's small. He's smaller to play the 1.
He's a true pass rusher.
Yeah,
like, he can stop the run, but I don't want Grady eating up blocks. Like I need somebody there. I need somebody there to eat up blocks for Grady, so Grady can get these one-on-one opportunities and get in the back.
Yeah.
All right. I forgot about this other pick. All right, because we skipped over him. Drew Dowman, the center from Stafford. This guy is nasty.
I'm a center.
Now competition. This is competition. This is what I like about Arthur Smith. All right, he for both not just the defensive line but the offensive line too. he drafting guys that's going to have competition. So we thought Matt Hennessy is going to start. No, Drew Dalman is going to try to take that spot from him. I'm not saying that Drew Dalman is going to be the center for us, but Hennessy is not the projected starter going into week 1. He has to earn that.
Yeah, I think that's really good for Arthur Smith to do because it's going to make him get up and work. You know what I mean? Like he's going to go in knowing that it's not just his job to have, and there's nobody competing for it. He's got competition now, and then also I could even see Dalman being a potential left guard competition too. Once again, versatility was a big theme of this draft. So they got a lot of guys with a lot of good upside. And they finally, I saw it right here from Antonio, with us drafting players finally with some long arms. They also really harped on length, and not like how like Dan Quinn would harp on length with like cornerbacks. We like fast, physical, lengthy corners, but like we finally have like some linemen that've got like some arm length on them. And that's going to be good to go ahead and get hands on somebody first before they can get to you.
Yeah. And what I also like about it is the guy went to Stanford and is the son of a former NFL lineman and coach. So
yeah, he was mechanical engineering.
So he got taught how to be an offensive lineman. Now people are going to go off on his height. I guess he's only 6'3", so he's like me.
He's a center. He's a center.
Yeah, he's a center. You can be short as a center. You can be short. The thing what people don't understand on that old line, the center is the shortest person. It's funny when you look at it. The center is I am the shortest person on the old line, and I'm just big. He's a dog of a man though. Like he is just disgusting. For him to have it's about a snap time for me. When I watched him, when he snaps the ball and he gets his head up and gets to whoever's in front of him. That's key. You have to look at that because if we play shotgun or we play under center, say we run against a 3-4 and we're trying to run the inside dive. I need him. If he snaps that ball, he gets his hands on somebody and from motion of here to get your left hand up and then put your other one on and push, he has that down pat. I mean, like you said, his dad is an old lineman.
And he finishes.
He finishes. He puts some people on. He puts them on your butt. You're gonna get on your butt when you go versus him.
Dalman 6'3", 287.
And I mean,
by the time Arthur Smith done with him, he'll be 310. He'll be 310.
He'll be up.
Yeah, I mean, like the last thing I was going to say about Dalman, aside from how his upbringing helped him out for offensive lineman, his college. Stanford,
you got to be smart at Stanford.
I mean, do we not remember who's come out of Stanford recently?
Richard Sherman, John Elway. Who else came out of Stanford?
Look,
Andrew Luck.
Didn't C-Mac go to Stanford for a little bit and then went to Nebraska?
Who?
CMC.
Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, he went to Stanford. CMC went to Stanford too.
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey did go to
Stanford.
Stanford.
Went to Stanford.
Yeah, so they have an educational pedigree. Like when I saw that he went to Stanford, I even said, I was like, we got a smart mofo in the middle of our line. And because he's a center, he is able to identify, because the center also helps the quarterback identify what's the pressure, where's the pressure going to come from, where's the gap, what gaps we need to go, what the protection should be. So having a Stanford person as the quote unquote anchor of the line, that is perfect. I love it.
So some of the trenches. You got 2 linemen, and we got 2 pretty much defensive linemen. That's good. That's real good for a draft. And I've been pounding the table for years. We need to invest in the trenches.
Exactly.
We need to invest in the trenches.
Oh, dang. At Atlanta Nation and GGG, they also said Russell Wilson and Austin Hooper. They were Stanford grads too.
Austin Hooper did go to Stanford, but Russell Wilson did go. Russell Wilson went. He went to Wisconsin.
Was it Wisconsin or Nebraska?
It was Wisconsin. He went to Wisconsin.
Did he start at Stanford and then transfer to?
No, he started at North Carolina State and then he went to Wisconsin.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's from. Yeah, I thought it was.
And the fact that, with Don's point, investing in the trenches, we still went and got more offensive linemen that we re-signed, undrafted. So this is going to be you either get the job or you get the job. This not going to be given to you. Oh, well, you're the best option, but there's so many people available that can have your job. That is, if they're better than you, Arthur Smith is going to give them the job.
So, do or die.
Pretty much.
Also, Zach Ertz went to Stanford.
Oh God, man, they got a good squad coming out of there. They need to do an all Stanford team one day.
Stanford
that'd be unstoppable. So, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, remember how for the longest time we were like, could Alabama beat the Cleveland Browns in a football game because of how bad Cleveland?
The Browns have a good squad coming. Now I think
year
they're a lot better than people used to have. I mean, they used to be trash. We all know that, but they're actually they've got a good squad coming now.
Didn't Richard Sherman go to Stanford too?
Yeah, Richard.
Just the pedigree and all that. And if I'm correct, Stanford's an Ivy League school, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's they are.
So it's quasi. It's not really Ivy League, but it's like they call it the Harvard of the West, but it's not Ivy League for real.
It's one of the smartest. You have to have like a 3-point, like almost a 4.0 GPA to get to Stanford. So it's one of them.
Same with UF, because I still remember when I was a freshman in high school, the valedictorian of that class, she had like a 4.2 GPA, and UF turned her down because I think her ACT was like 1 point below the threshold, but her SAT score was like way over the threshold.
I feel like ACTs and SATs, that's a waste, man. It's just money that you're spending. Is if you put in the work in high school and you make the grade, you should get into school.
Yeah, that's like me. I mean, I had average SATs, but went to college and had a 4.0 GPA and graduated.
Thank you. I did pretty much. I graduated with a 3.6 in college.
I graduated with a 3.17 with my undergrad and a 3.4 for my master's degree.
I graduated. Yeah, I graduated with a 4.0 with my master's. So like I said, man, it's just
going to graduate in August with a 3.0 or higher. So I understand y'all paying.
All right. Yeah. Let's talk about Avery Williams, the cornerback for Boise State. Did you say, King?
I didn't say nothing. I said I'm soon to graduate with a 3.0 in August.
Oh, yeah, man. That's good, especially during this pandemic. So 3.0, that's equivalent during the pandemic. That's a 4.0 right there. I don't care anybody say.
Hey, I'm not denying that.
So.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be pretty good. I see him being a special teamer. He's definitely going to be. I don't know if he's gonna compete for kick returner. I'm sure they'll test him there, but I think he's going to go punt returner.
He's going to be punt returner. He's going to be punt returner. I don't know if they said it, but you got Patterson. I don't want Patterson doing punt return. I don't want him doing both. Do kick and do kick return, and you have Avery Williams. You have him do punt return.
Why don't you want to do Cordell at punt?
Because he's going to be getting snapped. Because he's going to be taking the snaps at running back. That's your second option running back right there on the depth chart.
You don't think Avery gets that second option? If he let's just say he balls out in camp. Let's give him that. Javen Hawkins balls out in camp. You don't give him that second option and just make Cordell Patterson your special teamer all around?
It depends. No, that depends though. That depends on say Jalen Hawkins does ball out. I still don't want Cordell Patterson getting both. I don't like Cordell. I understand you can say Cordell Patterson is a return specialist. Cordell Patterson is getting to an age where I don't want him to catch a ball as a punt returner and get hit some type of way and he gets hurt. I want Cordell Patterson.
Man. Punt return to kick return are two different beasts, man.
He gets time at punt. I mean, he gets time at kick. He don't get time at punt because them gunners coming. He make one wrong move, get hit in the knee. What you gonna do then? Because you ain't got no kick return or punt return. So that's why you gotta have Avery. You have to have Avery as the punt returner. He looks good at either way. But about Avery, Coach Smith said he's gonna probably play on every side of the ball. So he's gonna play either offense, defense, or special team.
I guess everywhere. Wait, he's got some speed on him. But like our running back chart, I probably see it going Davis, Hawkins, Allison, and then Patterson. If I
think Patterson plays more wide receiver for us.
That's where I'm going at because I even said it. Like, I mean, we got another former Bears punt, like, specialist, like the return specialist. We got another Bears elite return specialist coming to Atlanta. Ring a bell, anybody? A certain guy by the name of Hester. Yeah, so it's like we got that, but then we get our own return guy, and I personally would like him as the punt return guy, and then Patterson as the kick return guy, because Patterson, I think, is more effective on the kick returns. Not to mention, I think what Don said, he's probably going to be in the running back depth chart. He might even be in the wide receiver depth chart. So if he goes down, what are we going to have in the event that, like, let's just say hypothetically we only draft 2 running backs, and he's that other running back, and he goes down on a injury on the punt return. What happens if our starting running back goes down as well?
Yeah, that's true. Shout out to Joel Bell. He doesn't believe in Matt Ryan, so let's give him a shout out. He didn't graduate from School of Football because he thinks Matt Ryan sucks. So his football opinion doesn't matter on this channel. So shout out to him. Great shout out, Joel Bell.
What's good, Antonio Holloway? He said, outside of picks, what's your favorite pick of the draft? I like Jalen Mayfield. That's my other pick. And I'm not trying to say I'm not saying it out of my Michigan bias, but I feel like our offensive line, our offensive line will get better just by him being on the line. You still got Lindstrom, who I feel like will have a Pro Bowl season this year. McGarry, hopefully he develops better under Arthur Smith. We don't know right now. Hennessy, he is penciled in as a starter at center, but hey, he has competition right now. And Mayfield, I feel like, he was projected to be a first rounder, but he was moved back because of the length of his arms. But that's fine. You put him at guard because he can play that position as well.
I mean, and to go off that, the question from Antonio, I like the Richie Grant pick, like King. I like Richie Grant. Honorable mention. This one is probably going to surprise a couple of people here, but I'm making the comparison. The kid we took in the 6th round, he's considered the most athletic of all the wide receivers that were in this draft class.
Frank Darby.
Frank Darby. That man was like, I seen his tape, man. That dude was bossing them defenders.
He was.
Let me throw out a comparison, because I did it in my article for Blogging Dirty. Could he be our next Taylor Gabriel?
Ooh, that's a good.
I think because he's bigger though. I mean, he can. I can see it happening because he's fast enough to be the next Taylor Gabriel. But I think his power. He's so big, and like he's a raw talent. You can tell he's a raw talent because where we took him. But
and that's what I said. Like honorable mention. Like my favorite one is Richie Grant outside of Pitts. But if Frank Darby comes into the what I'm saying, like the Taylor Gabriel role, he comes in, maybe just does like what Scotty Miller does for Tampa. Just throw him in there, put him on a 9 route, hope he gets a catch or gets a PI, because let's face it, they're probably going to tug at him.
Well, you got to remember, though, we still have OZ, and that's Matt Ryan, the deep guy. Alameda. But Frank Darby's 6 foot, 200 pounds. So he's not Taylor Gabriel's size, but he's got the speed. But I like that wide receiver room so crowded.
It's so crowded right now. And we signed somebody, and we signed more wide receivers in undrafted free agency. I think mine is Dahlman.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Mine is Dahlman. This is biased because of my position. But for what I want to see this competition. I love center competition. I love old lineman competition because that's just gritty. They're gonna go at each other every day. I mean, old lineman, if you played old line, we go back and forth at practice. Even if we have team, you go with your D lineman. But when you at individuals, you going at it. You going head to head, man.
I mean, Tyrone, I know. Granted, I unfortunately didn't get to play like high school or college because the mom saw a video of me getting laid out by a kid who was the kid. I got laid out on the video because the kid was told by the coach because he was going easy on me on the 3-point stance into the hit and the rip, and then you tackle the running back. The kid was going light on me. He was like a top recruit in the country, and the coach was like, "You better lay him out, or I'm benching you for the year." Needless to say, he laid my ass out the next play, and everybody thought he killed me. I got right back up. She saw the video and she's like, "I don't want you getting paralyzed." So it's like,
wow.
I was forced, but I know what it's like because I would have been like a offensive lineman, defensive line, dude, king of the ring, just getting in there and the stance and just hitting you got, man. It sucks that sometimes you can't do those drills now, like the king of the ring.
You can't do Oklahoma or king of the ring.
You can't do Oklahoma, man. Oklahoma, one of the best.
King of the ring. I feel like king of the ring made you prepare. I did king of the ring at rec ball, so I was like 8-9 doing king of the ring. So king of the ring, that's probably the funnest drill. Off of you just stay in there. It gets you tough. Like that's why I say with Drew Dahlman and Mayfield. Those two are going to go versus Hennessy in practice. They're going to work with Hennessy. They're going to go versus McGarry, Lindstrom, and then they're going to go to defense versus they're going to go versus Grady Jarrett. They're going to go versus Taquan. They're going to go versus all these guys we drafted and all the guys Kaminsky. Bro, they're going to be – I just love trench battles, man. Like, that's going – at camp – if I'm at camp, I'm watching O-line and D-line.
That's all I do. That's every time I go to the camp, I'm watching the offensive line.
That's what I got to see because I want to see what Dahlman does versus Grady Jarrett. I want to see what Jalen Mayfield does versus Grady Jarrett. I want to see if they can hold their own. They're going to look like sharks in the water. They're going to look like some bait in the water. That's all I want to see out of those two. And then you got these corner. We got Richie and you got Darren Hall and Avery Williams, which we don't know. He might play everything. He might just switch in the middle of a play and go to offense.
Yeah,
so
the one that Terry Fontenot called the Joker, like the Joker role. He'd have the Joker role.
I think it's Avery. I think that might be Avery because he's the one that's gonna play. He's
Avery's gonna be Avery's the wild card.
And by the way, I looked up Frank Darby's 40 time was a 4.56.
Yeah.
So not as fast as Gabriel, but still kind of burner speed.
Yeah. Shout out to
and sometimes you got that downhill speed too, and like I feel like he has a better downhill speed.
Yeah.
Shout out to Smoke in Baton Rouge, Alabama. He's really in enemy territory out there. Thank you for joining the stream. Like and subscribe to the channel.
Please do.
We the source. We straight facts. This is what we do. We the source. Joel Bell is still here, of course. My spill on just the simple fact of Taquan. We're still on AO and QuonGraham, correct?
Right now we're on. We just talked about QuonGraham. We on Frank Darby.
We did Darby.
Okay, Darby.
Pretty much.
I like Darby. I don't think he. I don't want to say I don't think he makes the roster. But I like Gage a lot better than I like Darby, and he's better than O. So Darby could make the roster possibly, but I'm taking Frank. Not Frank. I'm taking Gage over Darby on any day.
Yeah, Darby is going to be for sure practice squad player, but like I said, like the energy that this kid has, you have to find a spot for him on the roster. Even if you do just have to put him on a practice squad for a year and see what you can get out of him next year. So I'll be fine with that.
Yeah, I mean, also when it comes to the wide receiver room, let's be real. They got one of the best coaches inside that locker room in number 11 to help them out. I mean, do we not see, like, even when Julio wasn't playing, he's out there with those receivers showing them, do this, do that. Make sure you get the hips in. Like
Julio doing those head moves and showing them what to do.
Trying to help the young guys out. Like, he's teaching them. So if there's anybody in the league that can help the wide receiver core learn, it's the best wide receiver in the game. I don't want to hear no talk about Michael Thomas. I don't want to hear no talk
Slant
about
Boy. Don't even put Slant Boy in the same category as Julio Jones.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't want to hear none of it. I don't want to hear these sorry ass Bucks fans on Twitter and the people that I met where they're like, Mike Evans is better than Julio just because he's got a ring. Oh wow, I'm glad that rings now determine how great you are. No. When you have other wide receivers, when you have competent wide receivers, when they go on podcasts and they do rankings and they say Julio is the number one receiver in the game. When you have Larry Fitzgerald, the legend of Larry, coming over to Kyler Murray and say, yo, man, watch out for 11. I ain't never seen a guy like him before. There's no weakness to his game.
Yeah.
Julio Jones was in a lab. He's not human. He was built somewhere.
Like Julio Jones' body.
He's got everything.
If you watch him and Calvin, you can see it rub off on Calvin. You can see it rub off on anybody that's been a wide receiver on this team. You see that Julio's rubs off. Like that Taylor Gabriel route in the Super Bowl when he made Malcolm Butler fall. Bro, that looked like I was like that's Julio taught him that. Like you just see certain stuff, you be like Julio taught it. Like training camp last year when he was teaching Calvin how to toe tap. He was literally like, Calvin, like he said when you catch it, make sure your feet there. And he said if your feet are planted before you catch it, like he's just like he's gonna be a great coach one day. We all know that. But just the fact that like when he's on the field, he's helped young. He's not really a prideful guy. Julio always talks to these young guys. He makes sure he's known, like, you can come talk to me. And I like that. That's what you want out of – I'm not going to say your face of the franchise. He's number 2. If Matt's number 1, he's number 2 in the face of the franchise.
Before as wide receivers go, even Cap Megatron came out and said that he felt like Julio was better than him. And that's kind of hard for him to say that. Yeah. I don't – like, I'm going to put Megatron over Julio. Like, that's just me. But, he said that just the body of work of how to be a receiver and understanding the game, route concepts, he said Julio has that.
And let's not forget that a few years ago, the only Falcons game I've ever been to, like, at Atlanta, it was 4 years ago. I still remember my brother took me to the Benz for the Monday night game against the Giants. I still remember the post-game conference he had with the Monday Night Football crew. They're like, you still haven't caught a touchdown yet. And he's like, I don't care about scoring touchdowns. I care about doing what I can do to help the team be in the best position to win games. If that's not a leader, I don't know what is.
Let's talk about his mentoring on Kyle Pitts. That's going to be huge. That's
one thing
he gonna put him through the fire. Like and he did that with Calvin. I remember that 2018 season. Every time they on the sideline, he teaching Calvin Ridley what he need to do and stuff. And you can tell Calvin just sitting there just like, but that 2019 season, he was sitting there listening because that's the thing about Julio. He's gonna teach you whether you like it or not. And then you're going to see a difference in your game if you listen to this man.
I did see where Kyle Pitts and Calvin Ridley are evidently going to meet up this
Monday.
Week. Yeah, so I wonder if there's going to be a meeting between Kyle Pitts and Julio, or if that's going to be a training camp meeting.
Oh, they already Matt Ryan already hit up. People
they're
saying too.
On to lunch or something.
They're going to lunch like Wednesday or something, and then
Pitts and Matt Ryan, they from the same area in Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia, in suburban Philadelphia area. So those two Philly guys, come on now, like they're already talking about plays and all this other stuff. What they gonna end up doing?
Don't forget, Matt Ryan also pays for all of his receivers, and I think the offensive linemen too. He pays for them to come to Florida or California.
I think it's California where they work out together.
Yeah, he pays for them all to go out there so they can learn the concepts. I would be shocked if they don't do that this year. But then again, California is still a little.
He might go to Florida this year. Then he'll go to Florida this year.
Do you guys agree with the comparison of people already putting the comparison of like similar type receiver between Kyle Pitts and Julio Jones?
I say Calvin Pitts and Shannon Sharp. I wouldn't say Calvin Pitts and Julio Jones. I think he's a tight end, y'all. He's not a wide receiver. He just can play. He can play outside. Now, Hayden Hurst, you can say Hayden Hurst is fast. You can put Hayden Hurst outside if you really wanted to, if you think he can play wide receiver. It's the same thing with Kyle Pitts. He's a fast tight end. He can move around.
That Kyle Pitts has that Hayden Hurst doesn't is the size that Kyle Pitts has.
It's funny.
That's it.
It's funny. Yeah, it's funny that all of our receivers and tight ends are SEC players.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Alabama. Hayden Hurst. Hayden Hurst could be a dark.
He's gonna be big next year. Oh, he's gonna be big next year because they're gonna focus. Focus Kyle Pitts. They're gonna focus Julio, and they're gonna focus Calvin.
Yeah, because somebody will get forgotten.
Yes, Hayden Hurst is going to get forgotten, and he's so fat. Mind you, I did some. Somebody was talking about, how does Kyle Pitts help this offense? I said, let's go look at it. You know, they say 40 times don't really matter this year, but let's go look at everybody's 40s over the past. 4-3 Julio, 4. I think it was 4-5 Calvin, 4-6 Hayden Hurst, 4-4 Kyle Pitts. That's going to be our mostly our. How much speed do you need on the field? And there's not a lot of linebackers. As much they're running faster. There's not a lot of linebackers keeping up with that much speed on the field, and they know how to run routes. Hayden Hurst with a good route run book is going to be crazy next year.
He got wide open plenty of times. Just last year, he got wide open plenty of times. He got forgotten about, and he would just be sitting there like literally no one. He could just sit there.
One of my friends who I respect the hell out of. His name is Alex Fleming. He works for the Sports Arena, a good friend of our show. He did say something that Hayden Hurst isn't really good at catching. So I was about ready to talk to him about it. Like, I want to have another debate with him because last year I did have one because he said we were going 4-12. He said we were going 5-11 last year, and I said we were probably going to go like 8-8. 9-7, something like that. Of course, he was close and everything. But when he said that Hayden Hurst isn't really good at catching the ball, I was like, did he forget the Lions game where it bounced off of Ridley and I think a Lions defender, and Hurst literally got it right before it hit the ground. Yeah. And it's like
a couple of plays where he laid out though and caught the ball.
Yeah, he's able to catch the ball. It's just terrible scheming. And I want to see what he does in Arthur Smith's offense. I mean, a lot of 12 personnel, if we can average about – I'm going to go low on this. If we can average about 50 to 60 rush yards a game, it's going to open up the 12 personnel for us, and we are just going to feast.
And with Mike Davis, I feel like that's out of – I feel like with Mike Davis and now we got Hawkins – I know Quadre's still gonna be there and Cordell, but y'all, like we said, everybody was like, "Well, he's smaller than Ito." I saw some people in the comments talking about he's smaller than Ito. He's more shifty than Ito. Let's think about that.
The concussions too, like
Ito done got hit so many times. It doesn't make sense about how bad Ito's gonna kill.
I thought Ito was maybe 1 or 2 more away from retiring. Honestly,
yeah. He was getting killed for a long time.
That one where he got blown up, I can't remember which game it was, but where he got lit up sitting there trying to it was whenever he was trying to throw a block, wasn't it?
Yeah, he threw a block and got killed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, everybody said me Calvin ran a 4-4.
I thought that he was pretty close with retiring with how many concussions he's getting up to. Because it was like he'd come back, and don't get me wrong, Ito, I think he's a good running back. He can run. He's quick, but he's a little bit fragile. And then Hawkins now, sure, he can be smaller, but size isn't everything for a running back, especially if you're trying to be a small, shifty, quick running back. Like, look at Freeman. Whenever he was good, Freeman's small. He's not that big, but I mean, he was shifty, and that's what kept him good.
Let's think about what Arthur Smith did with Derrick Henry and his backup. I can't think of his backup's name. That's a small guy. He wasn't no big. Derrick Henry was the power back, and his backup was small. Even though they said when you had him in, they were going to pass the ball. You run a draw play out of you think we're going to pass the ball while he's in here with Jalen Hawkins? He might take that thing 60 yards. Let's be honest.
Tyrone,
we're not going to address it. Okay.
Let me throw out these three names with the Titans running back. See if they Kari Blasingame. Oh no, that's a fullback. Sorry, let's throw him out. Darrington Evans or Jeremy McNichols.
Might have been Evans, or he might have left. It was the year they made that big playoff run. I can't think of his name though, but he was a smaller guy. He wasn't a big guy. Hawkins is he not? I thought everybody was talking about he's smaller than Ito.
I'll look it up now.
Hurst is better.
Was it Evans? I'm thinking it was.
It might have been Evans. It might have been Evans, but I remember they had a smaller guy back there.
Shouts out to everybody watching the show. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Dion Lewis?
Yeah, Dion Lewis. It was Dion Lewis. It was Dion Lewis.
Yeah, I literally just pulled up because you said it was the year they won that big playoff run.
Lewis played for the Patriots and won the Super Bowl in 2016.
Don't remind us about that with Dion Lewis.
I know, like that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, it was Dion Lewis. Yeah,
hey, that's fine for the Chargers. Congratulations, Chargers, for picking up a guy with arthritic knees.
Yeah,
early.
Chargers, a shout out to Asante Samuel Jr., who's going to be probably the best cornerback in this draft. I'm going ahead and say that.
Oh, don't do Stokes like that.
So, JV.
Well, the Eric Stokes thing has basically just expedited Aaron Rodgers going to the West Coast and literally listening to Johnny Gilbert say, "This is Jeopardy. Let's meet today's contestants."
I think he's gone. I think Aaron Rodgers is gone because they picked Stokes in the first round. I was like, "Yo, you just basically said get rid of Aaron Rodgers with that pick, literally."
So just throwing this out there, Ito Smith is 5'9", 194, and Javian Hawkins is 5'9", 196. So they're practically the same exact size.
Yeah, I think Jalen Hawkins moves. I just think he's more shiftier than Ito.
Yeah.
Though.
Have you seen some of his tape, dude?
Yes.
Like his breakaway, whenever he hits that gap and then gets out to the outside, he's gone.
That's why I say
and I think Hawkins is going to make this squad. He's gonna make this squad. He's gonna be one of those undrafted free agents that you have to make a spot for him on this roster.
I think I saw where he actually had a pretty good contract as an undrafted.
Yeah, he got like a $300,000. Yeah, it was.
And Ledford, I'm telling you, the offensive line coach here with the Falcons, who coached at Louisville, pretty much said we need to bring this man in. He knows because Ledford is going to be also helping Arthur Smith with the run game.
Yeah. That's true. Big shout out to Mr. Bell. If we don't trade Julio, we're going to the Super Bowl this year. Who's gonna throw Julio the ball? I just asked that question because you don't want Matt Ryan, but you think we can go to the Super Bowl with just Julio. That makes no sense at all.
Can we say how big the guy we picked up?
It's gonna be Felipe Franks.
That's it. Got it.
Right, AJ McCarron. Let's bring AJ McCarron in here.
I was going to say, you don't think AJ McCarron can do it?
Hey, AJ McCarron and Julio, they was on that 09 national championship team.
Yeah, they got that Alabama team going again.
Yep.
They actually do it, and then you put Ridley there. Oh man, I mean that's. I don't like how we have everybody SEC. We really have a really deep SEC squad. Everybody that says this that we don't draft players from down here. And we don't draft. We need to start drafting Georgia players, and we need to start drafting all these players from the South. Look at our team. Really, look at our team, and look how many players are from down south. Really, look at that.
That's what we are. We're now the Atlanta Crimson Tide.
Atlanta Crimson Tide. I want to talk to Jack Batho from South Dakota School of the Mines. Is 6'8". I don't know if you guys knew that.
Lord.
He's a tackle that is
NBA.
6'8". He should have played it. Yeah, he should have played basketball. If he don't make it in the NBA, he needs to play basketball.
Hey, wait, what is he? What is he? What's position he play?
Tackle. He plays tackle.
No, if he don't work out, he'll be down there the performance center for WWE.
Oh yeah. Be in Orlando. He'll be in Orlando by next week. Especially everybody else we signed in this draft. I got to do some more film. We got another safety. I don't know if these guys. We got a lot of O linemen. Got another tight end from Northwestern.
We actually
Another
did,
wide receiver.
The one from Buffalo, Tyrone.
Yeah, Antonio Nunn.
Fun thing. Last night I was just minding my own business on my computer, and one of my fellow employees, where I work at Steinbrenner Field with the New York Yankees and their minor league team, he texted me randomly out of the blue. He was like, "I think you'll find this interesting. You remember this guy that we worked with in the warehouse? His son just signed with Atlanta." And I was like, Antonio Nunn is his kid. Now, I thought the dude wasn't older than 30, to be honest with you, but apparently he's gotta be 40 if he's got a kid in the NFL.
Yeah,
oh wow.
Joel Bell is just on it today.
I don't know what's going on with Joel.
I don't know what's going on with his life. Maybe he's been drinking, but has anybody here been sleeping on Grant? I thought we was all in Grant.
I thought we've all been saying that.
We all just said Richie Grant.
Here said that it's our favorite.
King literally said that he was that was his favorite pick. I said that was my favorite pick, and not to mention,
Tyler said it too.
and I'm gonna throw it up there. About 20 minutes ago, we had a guy out there who said, "I'm just gonna say it. King looks tired more than he looks hot." I'll just say that.
Thank you. I'm glad somebody.
Everybody that comes in here and says King is high. I don't understand it.
It never.
I mean, it's every show. They just be like, man, King looks like that guy in the left looks like he's high.
This man King, he in school. He working a full-time job, and this man got more kids than I got.
Bro, chill out. I only got 5.
And fun thing.
You got 5 kids, right?
Nah, bro. I only got 3 that are mine. And then I got 2 god kids. So yeah, I got 3 kids.
I
got 4. So
right now, King. Right now, you sound exactly like one guy that I'm real good friends with down here. He's an IT guy, but he's a Knowles fan. So, he's pretty happy about Asante Samuel and all that. But he says he's got 3 kids that are his and one that might be his, but he claims that it looks like one of our friends. So we call him. We say that. So, we say that the guy has to start paying child support because it's like
put it like this here, man. Put it like this here. If you're feeding them, they're yours.
They're yours. I heard that so many times.
Facts on that. But no, like I'll say this: like you just said that King works a full-time job. I'm now working for our head coach's father's company. I'm driving a FedEx truck for right now.
Oh, wow.
Hey, you better talk to Arthur Smith. You better talk to Frank Smith so you get your Falcon tickets.
Exactly.
Now, my goal is simple. I'm going to do my best, provide quality content, much like you guys do, and hopefully, we all meet up and we do a, we get to be in the booth together, like there in the press booth. We got to be up there and all that stuff. Because at the end of the day, hard work gets rewarded.
Yeah.
Facts.
He's speaking the facts. Gotta love
we speak facts on this show. We speak nothing but facts on this show.
Not to mention Tyler and I. We also challenged our patriarch of our company of DTSN because he's got a big Rams podcast.
I know Jake. I had Jake.
Jake. Yeah. Atlanta plays the Rams next year. We sent out a formal challenge and we're like, Jake, Alexis, you have a challenge. You must accept it. We are going to Hollywood. We're gonna be like Michael Irvin, even though he gets the Cowboys fans all riled up. Atlanta is gonna walk in there, and we, not the Cowboys, the Falcons are gonna be so fly and so far, and that is the God's spell. Where's my towel? I need a towel.
I feel like, bro, Jake. Think about a funny part about Jake. About all of everybody that's content creators on YouTube, especially Falcons content creators. We're all most of us are all cool with each other. We don't really have no problems with each other. Like, it's certain people that like to start stuff. We're not gonna bring those people up, but we're all close. Like, we all have a fandom. Like, it's certain people that want Cam go. I mean, not Cam. There's a lot of people that want Matt going. And those are the content creators. You just be like, okay, what do you're just pushing a narrative. And I'm really happy that we can find people that are able to talk sports with.
Just talk sports and not even just that, just help other people. Like there's so many people, and I don't sit here and pat myself on the back for real. Like I'm one of the most humble guys you're gonna ever meet. There's so many people I've helped, so many podcasts, people I done helped get off the ground, and like. And I don't sit here and say, "Well, I did this for you. You got to do." I don't do all of that stuff. Like I just want, as we're all Falcons fans at the end of the day. I see this as a family. Like we all come together as one goal to cheer and want this team to be better. Like are we gonna always see things eye to eye? Are we always gonna see things? Are we always gonna agree with things? No, we're not. But at the same time, either we can agree to disagree and be respectful at the end of the day. Now, if we can't, go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say agreed 1,000%. And then a side goal aside from that, because we're Falcons fans, we need to turn those terrible people with the black and gold. We need to turn them to support the black and red. They don't need to support the gold. The gold needs to become red. They don't like. I lost a bet last year with our Saints guys, and I had to say that stupid chant that I will not say. Hey, it's better than having to buy a Slant Boy jersey and wear that every day for a year.
Oh yeah,
I can't do that.
I couldn't even touch it. Black. My sister.
Go ahead, Tyrone.
I was gonna say my sister's a Saints fan, so I get called. Yeah, so if I get a call, it's going. And I know when it's, especially after the game. We played Thanksgiving together. Remember the Saints game when we almost came back? We had like the 2 onside kicks.
3.
It was 3 because we didn't one was like illegal or something. I don't remember.
Off sides or whatever, and then we still recovered it.
So I have caught absolute just straight nothing but who that she's borrowed my car and just put Saint stuff all in the windows and it's just like I don't even want to touch the car. My mom's a Florida fan, so it's a big Florida sticker.
Oh boy,
it's a big Florida. What's the plate in the front of it? I'm like, what? I can't. She has a big Florida thing. I have a house full of enemies. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say, and I just can't.
Tyrone, I'm kind of on the same boat as you because I said it earlier. My dad's a Cowboys fan, so he's already nauseating as it is. And Tyler knows about this, but I'm gonna let the 3 of you get a guess on this. Guess my brother's team.
Saints.
Wrong.
Let me think.
Is it the NFC? Is it the NFC? Patriots?
I'm sorry. What was it?
Patriots.
Ding, 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 ding.
Oh God!
No,
that's the worst thing to happen in our franchise history. And then
like quite literally when it was that score, my brother went to walk our dogs, not the ones that you guys saw in the pockets. These dogs came after that Super Bowl, but he went to walk the dogs when it was 28-3. My dad looked at me and he said those 4 words you're not supposed to say. I don't care who's the quarterback or just in the game in general. He said the 4 words you're not supposed to say. This game is over. And I looked at him like Booker T did when he was getting his ass kicked by Stone Cold Steve Austin in the supermarket. I gave him that look and I was like, tell me you did not just say that.
Oh, but you know what though? As a Falcons fan, and I've been a Falcons fan for a long time, and I watched that game, and I ain't trying to relive it, but I knew I was sitting at home at the time, and I'm like, this game ain't over. I seen it before, and I said this is too good to be true for us to be up by this many points, and I'm like, and I say, you know what? I say, you know what? And at the time they told me, well, hey, you need to go ahead and pack your bag if you're trying to go to the parade. I'm like, look, I'll pack my look. Because I was staying in South Georgia at the time. I was staying in Savannah at the time. I'm like, you know what? I'm not packing my bag until after the celebration.
You said that, and just remind me, I am the guy that packed my bag I was ready. And then
I was gonna take out a whole week if we did one.
I was still in college at the time, but I would have drove up I-75. I would have taken a nice 8-hour drive into it and a couple of days off.
Yeah,
from college. Because one of my I was gonna say one of my professors when the playoffs started, he was like, "So Joe, you buying tickets to Houston yet?" And I was like, "If we're still alive on January 22nd, I'll consider buying tickets. I wasn't just gonna buy them and go to Houston for no reason whatsoever and everything. But I would have gone up there. I mean, I said I was going to take the day off after school, whether we won or we lost, because it was either I was going to be celebrating a win or mourning a loss. And ironically enough, a former coworker of mine, this was back when I was doing like Super Bowl videos on Facebook. Apparently, I actually predicted the score correctly. I said if the Patriots win, they're going to win 34-28. Now, did I say they were going to come back from a 25-point deficit? No. I just said that if they were going to win, because also if you look that year, when we scored 30 or more, we were undefeated. When we scored less than 30,
we lost.
We were 1-5. Yeah.
Man, so you pretty much predicted us losing the Super Bowl.
Atlanta.
It's all your fault, Joe. It's all you.
It's all your fault.
I will take the fall. I will take the fall. I will take it because as long as it's not people saying it's 100% Matt Ryan's fault, I will take it because there are people who are there.
I finally got the courage like a little bit ago to finally watch it again.
I haven't watched it yet.
I can't. I watched it. I watched it 2 weeks after the game.
No, let me tell you.
I had to. I had to. I had to watch it. I had to sit there, but by that time, I done cried the new. I done created a new river in Georgia. I don't cry like that for real. But that right there, just as a fan, just to see that slip away from my fingers. And 2 weeks later, I watched it, and I'm like, yeah, this, and I looked at the DVOA numbers. I'm like, yeah, we had no business really being in this game, to be honest.
You know what I watched out of spite? This is funny. This is what I watched out of spite. So after the game, I didn't even finish the game ending. Like I turned my TV off when they scored the overtime touchdown. I think I threw out a row. I was in the living room. My grandma was like, "What happened?" I was like, "I don't want to talk about it." Go in my room. I just cry. I just lay on my stomach. And I just start bawling. She's like, "Come in here and watch this." I'm not finna watch them hold up the Super Bowl trophy that was ours. So the next day, mind you, Kyle Shanahan's introduction in the 49ers was the next day. I was like, you know what? I'm going to sit here and watch this. I promise you, I watched that whole press conference out of just spite, just staring at him with just so much anger. I was like, you just lost us this game. It's like, you really just lost us this game. I was just like, okay, Kyle. I was like, you're gonna get what comes to you, and then he did last year. Last year made me not last year.
But I was so happy when they lost.
I was so happy when they lost, bro. Oh my god! I jumped. I bet somebody that night because he's like, man, San Francisco's gonna win because they got a defense. They can't do it. Blah blah blah. Man, I said, all right, bet. I was like, Kansas. I was like, I will put Kansas City. I was like, I'll give you. I said, we'll bet. I said, well, I think we bet like 20. I said, I bet 20 we win. So we were watching the game. He's upstairs. I'm downstairs. And I'm just sitting there. And then Kansas City starts coming back. And I run upstairs. I'm like, what's going on? I was like, what's happening? Then I run back down. They scored another touchdown. I'm like, okay, here we go. And then they got the lead. And then he was like, all right, I'm going to leave. So he's leaving. He's in the process of leaving. And then they score another touchdown. I'm just like, yep, there we go. I was just so happy. I was so happy.
The only
thing I was money. Yeah, like that's the thing, and it's funny that they lost. The 49ers lost the game the same way that we lost in 2016.
And I'll say this about
your ego. When you have your ego get in the way, you're going to lose every single time.
And I also say this about that 49ers team. Like how I said, one of our undrafted guys, I worked with his dad. I went to high school with the Niners running back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I went to high school with Breida.
Breida? Okay.
Yep. Yeah,
he went to Georgia Southern.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was a team player. He was also kind of like Julio in a sense, like quiet, like really freaking quiet. Always quiet, always put the team first. But yeah, that was fun. And then also, I'm also now pointing this out. In 51 and 52, there was only one turnover in the game, and it was a fumble.
That's crazy.
Wow.
I like to agree with Ultra Shadow. We overachieved in 2016, in my opinion. I've said that before. We all know defense wins championships, and that year we didn't have a defense, and we was just scoring a lot of points. So I would like to agree with Ultra Shadow. We overachieved in that 2016 season, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if we would have capitalized, it would have been okay. But since we didn't capitalize, you can see all the errors all year that we went through and the leads we were blowing and all that throughout the whole year.
Weren't we like 11-6 that year, which was crazy? Because I thought that was a 13-3 year, and it wasn't a 13-3 year. I was like, whoa! I was like, oh, we weren't that good, really and truly. Like,
we was 11-5. We was 11-5, and some of those games we could have easily lost because we allowed teams to come back and score a lot of points on us.
I just saw that comment pop up. We're not talking about the Braves 3-1 either.
We're not going to definitely talk about
it. Please don't bring that up. That's still fresh.
That wound hurt.
Let me tell you, right after that Super Bowl, my dad and I were sitting there, like yelling at the TV, finding what to throw, figuring out what to slam, all that kind of stuff. My mom walks in the room. This is what she says. Why are y'all so mad? It's just a game. We both snapped around and looked at her so fast.
That's what my grandma said. She's like, it's just a game. You don't have to be so emotional. I'm just like, you don't understand the agony that, like, we were so high up. Like, my mom went to work. She went to work. We were up 28 to I think it was like 21-0 or something. And she was like, oh yeah. She was like, okay, so y'all should win. So she like left, went to work. She calls me and just like, so what happened? I'm like, you're a Giants fan. I definitely don't want to hear your mouth. So I'm just like, no. I just hung up. I was like, I'm not talking about this.
Every single year on that date, now Snapchat's like, oh, you have a memory from 5 years ago. You have a memory.
Oh my God.
I delete, bro. I would have deleted and created a whole new account.
I'm like, can you stop reminding me? I don't want to know about that memory.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one, but hey, adversity is what we had to endure, guys. Eventually, it's going to be our time where the clock does strike midnight, and that Lombardi Trophy is going to be in the 404.
Yes.
That'd be the happiest day of my life.
And when it happened, man, I'm telling you.
Atlanta's taking the whole week off when we win the Super Bowl.
I'm taking a whole month off.
Atlanta schools, I'm talking about the Atlanta public schools. I'm talking about Atlanta will shut down. I promise you, Atlanta will shut down, and it would just be nothing but red and black everywhere. It's a Chicago bar in Atlanta, and I promise you that Chicago bar gonna have an Atlanta flag hanging from it by the end of the night because of the fact, like, it's so much agony that we felt, and so when you get to Atlanta winning something, like when the Braves win, Atlanta's shutting down that week too. Anytime we win, anytime an Atlanta team wins, we're gonna shut down the city. The United, I think it was so fresh. United was so fresh. It wasn't that big. We didn't have a lot of.
It was raining. It was raining that day.
I was there for that.
You were on the bright side. At the bright side,
and it was packed. It was packed down there too.
Yeah,
it was packed, but it was
again,
raining.
On the bright side, at least for right now, Arthur Blank can at least say before he died, he does have a championship ring.
Yeah.
King,
you muted, King.
Muted, King.
That's crazy. And that's true about Arthur Blank being able to say he got a championship ring. Because speaking of a championship ring, he got Atlanta United.
Yeah.
Got their first win today against OKC Energy 1-0. They lost to the Revolution 2-1. And they're currently holding the 5th seed with 4 points. How y'all feeling about Atlanta United?
Man, we still got to get the identity for Gabriel, man. We'll just have to wait to see, man. And like right now, like it's still early in the season. I want to see what's gonna happen next month with the team.
Still got to see what Joseph if he's gonna be 100% coming back. I watched the CONCACAF game, and I promise you, that CONCACAF game was just sad. You have like 6 shots on goal. I think we ended with like 9 on goal, and none of them went in. Like they didn't even have a goal. Like we had all the pressure and momentum, And then, oh my God, I'm talking about they just came down, hit 3 of them like back to back to back, felt like. And I was just like, this is, I think we're still learning. I think that's really all it is now is that we're going to be good. We look good. Barco is amazing. Ibarra is good. I mean, that whole team is amazing, bro. And it's just, we just have to, I think it's just learning more. I think it's still coaching. We don't have an identity yet. We don't know. We're a very good offensive team. It just comes on to what our defense, how we get back on defense and what we do there. That's all I think is going to have to happen.
Those last two comments were nice thinking. Somebody said that they think that Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot will bring us a Super Bowl. Then the other person said that they hope that the Braves win a World Series before they go. The Braves can do it if they get some pitching.
Yeah, we got to get the pitching the bullpen together.
Hey, talking about Braves, we're going to the Braves. I'll go into the Braves real quick. We had a Cubs series this week. We went 3-1. Game 1, 7-8. Game 2, 5-0. Game 3, 10-0. And then game 4, we lost 9-3 to the Cubs. Yona hit his first home run, his first career home run. Rizzo struck out Freeman. It was a funny moment.
That was hilarious.
That was just funny because it was just like Rizzo. I don't even know. He really even throw a pitch. It just like was a sinker, and it just upped him. And then we had our first pitching shutout. Thank God. We had our first pitching shutout. Not like we didn't. They had hits, but they just didn't score runs. That was probably our best. We hadn't had a good pitching. We hadn't had one till the Cubs series. We had 2 back-to-back, which was really nice. Now, the Toronto series, this has been a bad series. We went 13-5 to the Blue Jays, the game 1. Game 2 is 5-6, Blue Jays, and that was a choke game because we were up big that game. We were up 5. Was it 5-0? Yeah, we were up 5-0, and we let them get 5 runs and win the game. Pache hit his first home run, though. I mean, his first grand slam. So that was pretty cool to see him. But this pitching is really what's hurting the Braves at this point right now. That bullpen is not secure. And we're talking about running back, and we're gonna run this team back.
Smiley wherever he can go. Like Smiley needs to go anywhere and everywhere away from the team.
Yeah. We've had two big things happen. Alex Jackson is out on 10-day IL with a left hamstring. Travis on 60-day IL, and he had to go get surgery on his thumb. So now he probably will be out months now. And that's our starting, and he was probably our best hitter for a while. And so, and then Newcomb, this is just from today, reinstated Newcomb from the injury list. We recalled Edgar Santana to Atlanta and transferred Mike Soroka to the 60-day IL. The club optioned Bryce Wilson and Camargo to the alternate training site following last night's game. I don't know what's going on with Camargo, and I don't know what's going on with Wilson. They're supposed to be like solid players, and Camargo hasn't really showed a lot, and Wilson definitely hasn't.
Yeah, I'm ready for Soroka to come back.
Yeah, he's on 60-day IL. He just got cleared.
That's
he just got cleared. That day was it round 1? So Thursday, I think Cassidy came on here and talked about him. He just got cleared for actual throwing. I think. Oh, and today was Ian Anderson's birthday. So shout out Ian Anderson.
So you celebrated his birthday today with a loss. Gotcha.
Yeah, we lost, and we lost today too. So yeah,
but he was pitching today too.
Yeah, he pitched. That was cool. He pitched on his birthday, but we still lost. But I will say the bats have come alive. Our bats have come a lot better. I've gotten a lot better.
The bats have come alive and everything. And I'm just going to throw it out here. I know we don't want to have to bring this up here, guys, but is there something up with the Phillies, at least when it comes to them getting like really ridiculous calls from the MLB umpires? I mean, it happened to us where he did not touch the plate. Darno got the block and he was out and they called him safe. And then 2 days ago or yesterday it was, they get McCutchen is called out for running out of the base path, even though he never ran out of the base path. And then they called the guy who was out at first safe. And it's just like, what is going on with the umpires right now?
Baseball, I want robot ups. I really do. I want robot umps. I know that takes away, somebody said it takes away the fun. But you need robot umps because this has gotten bad. Like this season has proven to you, especially at home plate with strikes and like the guy that leaned in and got hit by the pitch with the Mets, and they said that was a strike. He called strike, then he said got hit. Like you gotta have somebody there. You gotta have something that really knows. Like umps are so unreliable now. They used to be, like you needed umps in baseball, but now with electronics and stuff, I think you gotta go. You gotta go to going to robotic umps at this point.
Quite literally, here's my suggestion at least for the home plate umpire. Tyrone, you're wearing glasses right now. Somebody should create them. Like just a special type of glasses that the umpire wears, and when the batter comes up and gets into his stance, it automatically makes a 3D strike zone right there for the umpire. That way they can accurately call the balls and strikes.
That's a smart idea.
Like even if the ball is like that inch or whatever, where it's like you think it's a ball but it's a strike, but because it's like an in like right on the black. Like at least then you're at least getting accurate balls and strikes, and you can't get argued on that. Because let's be real, I had 2 years ago I was coaching Little League, and we had an umpire, bases loaded, full count. He called the pitch a strike 3, and it was in the dirt. It didn't even make it a home plate, and he called it a strike 3, and we had 2 outs.
Speaking of baseball, let's talk about some college baseball. Georgia Southern, this past Tuesday they played Jacksonville U, and they won that game 3-4. Friday they played South Alabama. They lost that game 12-5. Yesterday they played South Alabama again. They won that game 11-2, and today they played as well. To have a look for that one. UGA. This week they played Tech and they lost that game 7-5. Thursday they played Auburn. Thursday they played Auburn. They won that game 0-4. And Friday they lost against Auburn 10-6. That game went 14 innings. And then yesterday they played Auburn and they lost that game as well 9-7. Georgia State, this past Tuesday they played Warford College. They won. Finally. They won. That game went 14 innings though. So hey, they came out of that game with a dub. This past Friday they played Coastal Carolina. They won that game 2-1. And then yesterday they played Coastal Carolina again and they got beat 8-4. Georgia Tech. I just mentioned that they beat their state rival UGA. This past Friday they played Kennesaw State. They lost that game 5-1. Yesterday they played Kennesaw State again and they won that game 13-5. So
this baseball team, the college baseball has just been a little bad for Georgia.
It's been up and down. Oh, let me shout. I don't know if we mentioned this, but UGA had 9 players that were drafted. That's the most in school history.
Yes, sir.
Yes, and Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern defensive end Raymond Johnson III was signed by the New York Giants. Long snapper Ryan Langan was also signed by the Los Angeles Chargers. So, congrats to these guys that made the that on the team. Congrats to these.
Our whole secondary at Georgia was drafted, like the whole secondary. So that was cool.
So let's jump into the Hawks real quick. Hawks went 2-3 in the last 5 games. They beat the Bucks, which was a big win. We were happy about that, coming off that, and they lost 3 times in a row. Lost to the Pistons, a game that we shouldn't have lost, and then we lost to the best team, in my opinion, in the East, the 76ers, twice. And like I said last night, these 2 games showed why we are 4th and 5th seed. We're not ready for the big leagues of the East when those top 3 teams. We came back. We beat the Bulls. Hawks are currently 5th in the East, 1 game behind the Knicks. So hopefully the Knicks on their West Coast trip can drop like 3 or 4, and we can win like 2 or 3, so we can get that 4th seed and have home court advantage over the Knicks if we play them in the playoffs. Because that's how it's looking. It looks like we're going to be playing the Knicks or the Celtics, because the Celtics are red hot right now, man. Somebody put the Celtics out, please, with fire, because they are red hot.
They just Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are hurt now.
Ooh,
they both had to go to the locker room.
not to be happy, but hey, just saying. 7 games left. Expect the Hawks to go above 500. With these 7 games left, I'm going 4-3 with the Hawks. 5-2 on a good note. What you thinking about, T?
5-2. 5-2. Unless, like I said, if we can go 6-1, and that's just to losing to the Suns. Yeah. That's my bold. My bold is we go 6-1. I think we sweep. Like I said, I think we sweep the Wizards. I think we beat the Trailblazers, and I think the only game we really lose is the Suns game. That's the only way I see it.
Man,
that's how I see it.
Get real solid whenever they can get fully healthy.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Speaking of being fully healthy, before we get to injuries, we play Portland at 8 p.m. Monday. This is my choice, the pick of the 2 games where I think it's going to be either a hard or easy game. I think Portland is going to be much harder than the Phoenix Suns. And speaking of injuries, hopefully everybody's back, but doubt it.
Dre's still on it. Dre and Cam are the only 2 on the injury list. Cam, we know isn't coming back anytime soon. He'll probably be gone for the rest of the season. And Dre, I want to talk Dre's injury real quick. Dre has a bad knee. It's not a bad knee, but he had to get cartilage, put into his knee. So he went from, he had the surgery. He came back versus the Kings. Had a really good game. I think he dropped 16 his first game back. Everybody's like, okay, so he's back. Ended up finding out it was sore. So he's okay, it's sore. Got to being sore, got to being worse than sore, got to being he needed another shot in his knee. Okay, got another shot in his knee. Okay, so then John gets hurt. So they say, he'll be back before John. John comes back. He's not back before John. It's okay, so it'll be next week. Then Trey get hurt. Trey gets hurt. Like, okay, him and Trey will be back Friday. He didn't come back. I think at this point you just let Dre sit out for the rest of the season. At this point, Dre and Cam. It's funny they are our 2 draft picks last year. But you gotta let them sit out for the rest of the season. If we don't, and this year, if we don't look, we're not still fully healthy. So, like I say, if we win the first round series and then we lose second round, I kind of just want to get to all season at this point because we just keep getting hurt. Yeah. Like we just keep getting just get us to the all season, get us to playoffs. We lose second round, let us get healthy. Let everybody just rest because we're going into a regular season next year, y'all.
Yeah, that's true. And with that, even if we lose in the first round, if we make the playoffs, coming off the first half of the season that we were looking like the worst team in the NBA, if we make the playoffs under Nate McMillan, that's enough. Let's not the play-in games, not if we make the play-in games and then make the playoffs. If we just make the playoffs, that's top 6 seeds in the East, that's enough due to all these injuries. And then let's jump on the train for top 3 seed next year.
You overcame injuries and then you did a coaching change in the middle of the season. So that right there, and you still made the playoffs. That right there that's paramount right there. So.
Yeah, like right now, as it stands, the Hawks are in at least they have at least a play-in tournament. Their magic number is 6 to at least stay in the top 6 seeds the top 6 seeds in the playoffs. And right now, their first matchup would be ironically against the Knicks.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of basketball, the Dream they had a scrimmage this week. And they won that game 69-61 versus the Minnesota Lynx. So shouts out to them. And hopefully, this summer we can see this team, hopefully play better. And because they did a good draft. These past couple of seasons, they had a good draft. I know Hollywood got hurt last year. Yeah, and then they got Ari from Arizona. So hey, let's see what these girls can do.
Ari I told y'all she's the female Gary Payton. She had 3 steals yesterday, y'all. Already, she's crazy. Her defensive mind is crazy, bro. Dream are gonna be good this year. If you don't watch WNBA, first off, the uniforms are amazing this year. The new uniforms, go buy one, bro. This team is gonna be good. New ownership, of course, you guys know Renee took over. So yeah, this is gonna be a fun year.
Yeah,
I really believe it.
I agree too. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and call it a night. I think we had it was a great stream, and everybody who watched live, appreciate y'all so much for watching live. Hey, we really appreciate it. So
If you sat here for 2 minutes and 2 hours and 26 minutes this whole time, like some of y'all have been in the comments, I appreciate all of y'all. Really
like
and
that,
truly.
really, that shows dedication, and that proves how good a job the three guys above Tyler and I. That shows how good a job they've done. I mean, this is their 87th episode, and this is the first time Tyler and I have joined us. I think I speak for Tyler as well. Guys, thank you very much for letting us join you guys.
Yeah,
tonight.
we really appreciate y'all letting. It's been a blast.
hey,
Glad
man,
you guys
thank
came
y'all.
on.
Thank y'all. Once again, let everybody know where they can find y'all. Let everybody know where they can find y'all, by the way.
Tyler, you can do the honors, bud.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at tvining13. It's TVINING13.
And you can find me at Joe Carlino14 on Twitter. You can follow the Downtown Falcons page at DTSN Falcons. And I know it's a shameless plug, but we also have a Twitch stream. It's DTSN Falcons. We also have a YouTube channel now called DTSN Falcons. We created those literally before the start of the draft. So if you want to follow us there, we're definitely going to get the Forever I Love Atlanta guys on there in the future. You guys are definitely coming on us.
Hey, man. Hey, anytime, man. We'll love to come on and talk it up with y'all.
Exactly. And no plug is shameless plug on this show. We love
Exactly.
all
Plug away. Plug away.
Plug everything, man.
Plug away.
And for me, it's like I said, like the hard work gets rewarded. And some of the, like, even on my own personal YouTube channel, like whenever you hear like leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I do all like it's like I get that they get the like all that stuff. But it's just like I always felt like the organic growth just like made you feel better. Like just get that the more organic you are, the more real you are. Like if you're not just like yo, oh my god, and like people are like they'll sub because you look like an idiot. Essentially, like quite literally, like the three of you guys, y'all real, you're organic, like you're like honest, all this stuff. Like this is the kind of content I personally like to view, and I'm not just saying that because it's Atlanta based. I'm saying it legitimately. This is the kind of real content that the media needs. Honest, upfront, good discussions, and just an overall fun experience for everyone involved.
We got to try to get this whole group and Foye and Jacob back, Joe.
Oh yeah.
Hey, don't forget. They said they were going to get Isaiah Oliver with them.
I know,
too.
yeah, we got to get Isaiah Oliver because they want the beanbag boys to all be there.
Hey, if y'all can get 48, I can get a player for y'all to come on y'all's too.
All right.
And we're going to try to get
I can make that happen for y'all.
And we're also going to I'm going to message him probably tomorrow. We're going to get the new Falcons beat reporter, Michael Rothstein from ESPN.
Oh, we had him on the show.
Yeah, we had
him on the show. We had him on the show last week.
Yeah, we're going to get him on there. We said that we wanted to wait until after the draft because, let him get settled in with Atlanta and everything. So we're going to try to get him on that because let's be real. Another thing, shout out RIP Vaughn McClure. He was one of the best. So, I mean, it's like, we miss that guy every day. I know Mr. Rothstein has done great articles already so far for Atlanta, but it's just
y'all gonna enjoy it. Y'all gonna enjoy him. I'm just
really cool.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, he's really cool, bro. You're really gonna like him. I got one more shout out. Shout out Luka for getting 19 techs in one season and a short season. Shout out Luka.
He just got ejected with like 30 seconds left.
Yeah. He's really he's going to get suspended for this season. He might get suspended by the playing game because he's not mature at all. He's probably the most immature player in the league.
Hawks won the trade.
We did. Yeah, that was definitely.
All right, you guys. All right, you guys. Hey, if you're new to the channel, y'all already know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this content out with Atlanta Sports Fanatics, and hit us up in the comment section. As always, come holler. at your hometown sports podcast. It's your boy The Don, co-host Tyrone the King.
Always remember to love yourself, people. You're the most important person on this planet. Love yourself.
Hey, show yourself compassion. Show everybody else compassion. Keep up. Make sure you make everybody else feel good, man.
Yes, and
Do
make
good, you
somebody
feel
else great
good.
too. If you great, make somebody else great. On that note, we out. Y'all have a great evening. See y'all later.
Richie Grant, see?
Go ahead and say Richie Grant, man.
Richie Grant season, brother. Best player in the draft. Gotta love him.
All right. Holla at y'all. Bye.